Velina mai kako. Welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by finding ohana. I'm your host Kamaka, and our guest today knows a thing or two about ohana, and she definitely has found it. But before we introduce her, I gotta remind you to check out Patreon at patreon.com/kamakadias to join our podcast ohana and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to this podcast. Shout out to our new Patreon members, Nate, who joined our Hoaloha tier, and Ruth, who joined our Kako'o tier. We're an independent podcast, and all funds go to helping us run this podcast and bring you the best quality content every single week. If supporting this podcast with money is not for you, but you still love listening to us, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would mean the world to me. Today's episode is another fun one. We have Lindsay Watson in the building. She was in Finding Ohana, hence the callback to that opening. We talk about the ins and out of the acting world, casting, her representing Hawaii, and so much more. So you're going to have a really good time. We had a really good time. You will see with all the laughs. So enjoy the episode. All right, let's introduce our guest. Support for this podcast comes from Texaco in Hawaii, which features 58 convenient locations across the state. Fueling up at Texaco is fast and easy when you use the Texaco mobile app to pay at the pump. The Texaco mobile app is a contactless way to pay for fuel so you can get in and out of the gas station quickly. Fuel your car and fuel yourself. Pick up your favorite local snacks and ice cold drinks at your neighborhood Texaco today. Texaco at Techron, driving performance. Our guest today is an actress from the island of Maui. She has starred in Netflix's Finding Ohana alongside past podcast guest Kelly Hu, and most recently in the award-winning film The Wind and the Reckoning, a film spoken primarily in Hawaiian and subtitled in English, which makes it one of the first Hawaiian language films with international distribution. The film has won multiple awards at the festivals across the nation, including Best Film at the Boston Film Festival and Best Made in Hawaii Feature at the Hawaii International Film Festival. This local girl is just getting started and is making a name for herself in Hollywood while representing Hawaiians and Hawaii along the way. I am so stoked to talk stories with her today. Her name is Lindsay Watson. Aloha, Lindsay. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's your visit to Oahu going?
It's good. It's been a little crazy, but I feel like every time I come here, it's just madness because it's just... You always got to see so many people, and my family's here too. And then like my Maui family always comes here too. So it's like, it's madness, but good madness.
Definitely.
Always
I mean,
fun.
Your life has probably changed a lot in the last like 5 years or so, right? 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, it's been different.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I moved to LA and didn't know what to expect, and having it kind of culminate to this point that my career is allowing me to come back home and work has been like, so awesome. Like the end goal was always to come back home somehow. I just didn't know how that was going to work out, especially when I moved to LA. There was no sense of any Polynesians in the industry. Like it was such a small thing, and there was definitely nothing here in Hawaii that was film and television to that size that you could maintain and stay home. So when I moved out there, I really didn't know what the pathway was going to look like making it back home. And then in the last 5 years, there's just been this crazy boom of Polynesians showing up and showing Hollywood. Like, they're here and, like, they're demanding a seat at the table, and we're still, like, fighting that and doing it. But it's so cool because now I'm seeing, like, the fruits of that labor now seated here in Hawaii. Like, people are starting to be able to be in this industry that was so foreign just a few years ago and work and do this full time. So it's so exciting when I come back, especially here in Oahu. You know, it's kind of the home base of where everything's starting. So I'm making sure I'm part of it too. I'm like, I know I'm based out there, but I come back here and I try, you know. That's why I like ICANN. ICANN is like so stellar because they're really just nurturing and preparing this next wave of local talent, Hawaiian talent that, you know, they're coming. You know, Hollywood, and not even Hollywood, just us ourselves. We are starting to make our own stuff, making our own films, being independent. And we need the talent for that, before, in front of the camera, behind the camera, and things like ICANN are just helping really kind of curate that. So the moment is like, here you go. They're here. They're ready. So I've been excited to be part of that and come back home. But yeah, life's different. Life's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny because the last 2 episodes. This is the 3rd episode. We had people who are part of ICANN with Star, Kelly, and now you. And it just happened to be like that with the scheduling.
Yeah.
Like Kelly being here, you being here.
I can.
So it's like sponsored by ICANN.
Yeah, I know. He's like, huh?
I'm going to have to send him a check in the mail.
Yeah,
I think.
I know.
Angie, I'll be texting you after
Yeah,
this.
marketing genius over here.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I
Angie.
love what they're doing. I sat in on one of their sessions with
right.
wow, why can't I think of his name?
Robbie?
No, yeah, from Magnum PI.
Was it the table read one?
It was a table read. I missed the table read, but they were just going over some stuff from Magnum PI, like lessons and
What's
why can't I think of his name?
I'm
gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I know.
But anyways,
Scotty? No.
no, the
Oh, were you talking about? No, wait. Are you talking about an actor or is it
an actor.
Oh, was it the Alex O'Loughlin one?
Oh,
Or-
Alex wasn't there.
Oh.
I mean, he was there in the morning. I came in the afternoon. It was Alex. Something. I heard Jason Momoa was maybe gonna be there, and then oh, I can't. I'm sorry.
Words today have been escaping us.
I have to. Yeah, I know. Before we got on the podcast, I'm asking her, "Hey, what do you want to drink?" We have this chocolate and I was trying to explain everything, like, oh, pineapple mint's more refreshing, mango hibiscus is more sweet, the guava ginger and the passion orange guava is more like I don't know what the word, but like sandpaper, but not sandpaper. And then Jordan said like, well, like texture. So yeah, it took us a while to get to that point.
Was pulp the word we were actually looking
no,
for?
No, it's not pulp. I just said
now
pulp.
I need to try it after so I can understand.
I don't know why I said pulp.
It's not sandpaper.
Yeah, Stephen Hill.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry, Stephen, if you're listening to this.
That was rough.
I just met him at that ICANN, and then that's when I was talking to Star. I don't know if you met Star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love Star.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's how all these ICANN interviews started happening.
We're here and we're ready.
Yes. But this episode's all about you. We're gonna get to know your whole life story. I'm excited to, dive deep into some topics. I'm trying to think if I met you at the you guys had like the opening or the premiere of Wind and the Reckoning like a couple years ago, right, at Ward.
Yes.
Were you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I might have briefly.
I think we must.
I might have briefly met you because I remember meeting a couple of people. I don't know if Jason was there.
Yeah, Jason was there. Yeah.
Ian was there.
Yep. That was when we had like pretty much the whole crew there. Like as we had the whole like red carpet set up with the backgrounds and everything.
Yeah, okay. I might have
because we did like I don't even remember how many, many screenings, and there were like times when they had it so lined up where it was like one screening was coming out, so they would come to the red carpet while the other was going in. Yeah. So it was pretty crazy. They did a great job.
Yes.
Thanks, Ward.
Yeah, good job, Ward. No, but it's a great film, and we'll get into that. But let's start at the beginning. Where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up?
Okay. Born and raised Maui. Born at our only hospital. And then I pretty much grew up country on Maui. So I'm a Kula girl up country. And then I went to Kamehameha Schools Maui. I got in at 2nd grade. So almost a lifer. Almost a lifer. And yeah, that was my growing up. It was very normal, honestly. It was me, my 2 siblings, mom and dad, and that was where we weren't normal in Hawaii in the sense that we had a small family. It was just like the 5 of us pretty much. My grandparents, half of them lived in Oahu, the other half lived in Florida somehow. They ended up in Florida, so it was just us, tiny unit, and we did everything together. We were really just each other's best friends, and so I grew up that way. We still did all the Hawaii things, but just always together. And so when I started to grow up and like, I want to say it's like middle school when I started to get these inklings of like wanting to be on TV. That's, I knew it wasn't really so much about like acting at first. I just knew I'd like watch TV and I wanted to be on TV. And this is when obviously we didn't have like iPhones and stuff. So it was like the computer in the living room. And I remember just like sitting on there and like Googling like acting camps. And it would take me to all these acting camps across the like California and all these places, and I kind of opened the conversation with my parents, and they had no idea like how to help me. They had no concept.
And it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
like genuinely. I mean, I was always the weird kid in general. They always would be like, they're like, you know, we never listened to the Beatles and you did. Like in middle school, you would be like listening. They were like, you download your own music online. It was like the Beatles and like all these old bands that like our parents listened to. Like, not, and they're like, we don't know where you came from.
Old soul.
Yeah, apparently. And so, and with that came, like I said, this, I don't know. I always say it was just innate because not like I had any exposure to it. Not like we had a ton of TV and film industry at that time. So it came from somewhere else. And
Yeah,
it
maybe
was
one of
planted.
your ancestors they were a big actor
I
somewhere.
know. Like the best we got was that like my grandpa was a musician.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I sing as well. So it's like that was part of it. And we kind of just marry that in with performance. Like, so, but we all played sports, me and my siblings. I played soccer my whole life. And then when this kind of started to creep in, I was lucky going to Kamehameha schools. We actually had a theater program. So freshman year was the time I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell my parents. I knew there were auditions for the high school play, and I auditioned we were doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I auditioned to I don't even know what I auditioned for, but I ended up getting in. I was the only freshman in there. I
Nice.
was like Candy Girl number 3 or something, but that was like where the seed was planted, and it really, it was striking to me how much I enjoyed it, because like, again, it was like sports. I mean, I danced like hula when I was really tiny. Then we got into soccer, and it was just like straight soccer for the rest of my life. And so, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of stuck. And then when I was doing high school, you know, Kamehameha, we got a college prep. We did a lot of college prep, and I didn't want to go to college. Like I just knew I didn't. I don't know why. Nothing about it. I didn't know what LA had to offer. I didn't know what this industry had to offer. I just knew I wanted to do it. I always like say, like, I think back on it and I was like, dang, I was crazy, because really, like, I had no concept, and my parents were crazy that they were so supportive, because I know my mom really wanted me to go to college. She did, but she gave me the freedom to explore this idea and to feel this like passion, and my dad just he loves that kind of stuff, so he was all about it. And when I just started to really do the research and show them, like, here's the steps that I'm going to take to get there, you know. And I was lucky. I actually went to LA like my senior year of high school. Me and my mom, we went out there and we did some workshops, and you get to meet like managers and agents and stuff. And I met an agent out there who talked to me, who actually, I don't even remember who they are. Whoever you are, thank you. They told me, they're like, if you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. They were like, in our industry of film and television, at the end of the day, no one really cares if you have a degree in acting or not. You know, it's like, it's talent. They're
Can
like,
you act or not?
yeah, exactly. They're like, take your money that you were going to spend on college, put it to acting classes, like, you know, training in that sense, put it to your headshots, and you're going to need to survive between auditions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and whoever you are, you gave me the best advice, because I mean, that stuck with me, and I was just like, okay. And on that trip was like the first time I feel like my mom finally saw me in action, and she was like, oh, wait, she's kind of good at this. So I felt that turn in her, that she was like fully present then, of like being supportive of it. And yeah, and then after senior year, I graduated, and then I just moved to LA. Wow. I was super lucky. I had like family friends out there that, they weren't even close family friends too. They were like really distant, and they allowed me to come live with them, have my little transition period there of getting used to California, because it was very, very different. Like, we kind of traveled growing up, but you know, a trip is a different thing than living there. And like, I even remember the first time I went to LA, like when I was older, that it was just like such a culture shock, but it was like, oh, you leave, you go back home. Now living there and it being my full time, and then not only living there, but living by myself. I was, you know, no parents. They tried their best. They came, they helped, they got me set up, but they had to go back home, and I was just there, and I just kind of stumbled through it. I figured it out somehow. I had a lot of help. You know, I was lucky that I signed with my management like as soon as I moved to LA. I was really lucky to do that. And they're actually still my management till today. And I have them, and they've been such great people, just kind people, which is not always easy to find out there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, going through everything, it was, God, It was hard. It was exhausting. It's really exhausting to get used to such a different world.
Yeah.
It
LA
was
is so different.
It's so different. And like again, back then, yeah, I mean, I know there were other Polynesians there, Hawaiians, but so little, and we just all didn't know each other. We didn't know how to find each other. So it was just lonely. Like, you're just kind of put into this. It's such a rat race, and I was so young, and I give my younger self credit for withstanding and pushing through and staying that long till I got my footing of realizing, like, okay, I can do this. Like, it took a lot of guts, because it still takes me guts to this day. It's not easy, man. I mean, that's the crazy part of this industry. There's just never any stability in it.
That's what I hear.
So it's just constant of like, gotta try, gotta keep trying. Even
Yeah.
when you start to feel secure, don't feel too secure.
Yeah, a lot of no's, right?
So many no's. Like, yeah, people don't, like my parents, they don't understand how I can do it. Like, I don't understand how I can do it, honestly. It's like you have to find a way to almost, what we as actors have to kind of boil it down to is being so just sure about ourselves and our talents and be secure in it that not everyone's going to see it or understand it. And it's just the idea of you're not going to be right for every role. So it's like, when you have that and you really kind of, and it takes years to kind of secure that in your brain, you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, it's fine. Like, I know I'm good at this. I know I've trained for this. I know I'm prepared for this. So everything else is out of my control, and I kind of have to just keep doing me, and what clicks.
Yeah. I think when you want something really bad and you have that goal, nothing's going to stop you.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell you no, and you're not going to believe like you're not good enough
Yeah,
just because
exactly.
somebody tells you no. I think I've had multiple points in my life where I just had this goal that I wanted to achieve, and I was just hyper focused, and nothing could stop me. Pandemic,
Yep.
critics, nothing. Just you keep going, you keep
I mean, look at
waking
us now.
up. I mean, yeah. I guess I didn't really have much pushback for the podcast. The podcast is something kind of just like happened.
Yeah,
But like other times in life, there's hardships. And,
Yeah.
not even like people telling you no, but just like struggles just to get to the goal.
It's hard.
You know, it's takes a lot of discipline and drive.
Yeah.
And self motivation. That's the hardest part, because like when nobody's
say
telling you
self-doubt.
like what to do. Like nobody's telling you to. You don't have to wake up
Yeah,
in
I
the
would say,
morning
I
and
don't
like
have
go
to
to
put
a
in the
class.
work.
You don't have to study for this. So when nobody's telling you to do that, that's hard, and
Yeah.
that all comes from you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. It just took like time to develop that discipline, and realizing that the only person that's going to do it is yourself. So it's like, I learned a lot by watching other people. I was surrounded by a lot of talented actors. I got to work with a really talented coach that he really just like nailed that in. Like, you have to show up for yourself. You need to put in the work. You cannot, they would always just tell you, you cannot sit around and wait for a call from your agent. Like, that's what they would always say, because genuinely that in our industry, you can't, especially nowadays more than ever. Like, you know, we're in a very weird, tough spot. You know, a lot of people know we went through strike recently, and the idea that was going to be like, when we come back from strike, everything's going to come back like full force. Everyone's going to be so busy, and it just didn't. A lot changed in strike. A lot changed with the new rules, and like a lot of people are feeling the hurt. So it's still kind of such a strange time. So right now is the idea of putting in the work, putting in your training again, starting to be creative. A big part of where I'm at in my career right now is deciding that we have to create our own things. You know, we cannot wait for the opportunities. We can't wait for Hollywood to call or like bring in things. So many people here in Hawaii are starting to realize we're such collaborative people in Hawaii in general. We're so ohana, we're so about that. Why would we not trickle that over into our work? Let's just do that. There's so many, you know, it's like, hey, you own a camera and you want to be behind the camera. I want to be an actress. She wants to be a writer. Let's work together. Let's make something. And so it's so exciting to see that that is happening. I mean, like, so many different circles. That's all everyone's talking about. And like, independent films are going to be the future right now. If studios and networks aren't going to be making shows and buying shows, then we're just going to have to make it ourselves. And I think that's the beauty of that creative liberty, is that we get to control it. That's like what Wind in the Reckoning was for us. That's what, Is it harder? Yeah. Is it more of a struggle as an artist? For sure. But you get such creative liberty, and when it comes to telling our stories here in Hawaii, we need that, because it's like we've seen time and time again productions coming through telling our stories, or using our people, or using our land to tell these stories, and we have no creative control over it. So it's like that's why we end up so angry that it's like when it comes out to the world, it's like that's not representing us, that's not representing our stories, our land, our people. So it's like the only way to change that is that we control the narrative. And so it's like being independent from these studios sometimes when it comes to our stories, I don't always think is a bad idea, you know, because like when In the Reckoning, we had such control over it to do what we please. And I think that's why I was able to walk away from that project happy and proud. And I think that's why there's such a great response from so many people, feeling good that this actually did a good job to accurately display us as Hawaiians, as our history, you know, this true story. So I'm really excited to see how this can keep going, because I see everyone like starting to have that interest.
The eyes are opening.
They're all like, yeah, and it's like, wait, you want we? And so it's like I think everyone's going to just take that jump soon, and there's going to be so much. There's going to be this little boom here in Hawaii. It's like we're just so tired of it. We're so sick and tired of waiting. Like, yeah, in my career, even with all my success, like I'm still waiting. You know, it's still a struggle. It's still trying to figure it out of like, you know, where is our place? Like, do we have a seat at the table yet? You know, are we still fighting for that seat at the table? We as Hawaiians are especially we're just behind in general for this industry, and we know that, but we're trying to catch up and try to lessen that gap between us and everybody else, you know?
Totally, yeah. Do you mind moving your mic a little bit closer?
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, we can angle it a little bit towards you. Yeah, right there.
There you go.
Okay,
Hi.
cool. I usually say shaka length.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait, I can go further then.
Okay, cool.
There you
Oh,
go.
maybe it just looks far from my angle.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure it's good.
Okay.
But okay, so a couple things that I've been keeping note of. Have you watched High School Musical, and did that play a role in you signing up for the musical as a freshman?
I totally watch High School Musical. I think it would be wrong if I didn't watch High School Musical.
Complete the sentence. Living in my own world.
Oh, I know it, but I can't figure it out. Hold on, you remember like Textured? Textured came earlier. Okay, wait. I know, but what do they say?
You understand that?
Hey, I feel like you want to finish the sentence.
I'm just trying to help you.
No, cut the cameras. No, I'm kidding.
Cut this out, Joe.
Yeah.
She's a fake High School Musical
Yeah,
fan.
I say, hey, you didn't say if I was a fan. I said I watched it.
That's true. You got me there. I was just wondering. Big High School Musical fan. That's
you?
what I grew up on that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. The first one was the one I really watched. That was like my time, and then the second one, yeah, and then there's a third, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But you were probably pretty young when the first one came out.
Yes.
Because I think it came out when I was like in middle school or like maybe high school-ish.
What year was it?
Yeah.
What year did High School Musical come out?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Google?
Yeah,
Google?
this is what we have Google for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been a big Zac Efron fan ever since then. Got mad respect for him.
Zach.
Yeah.
Sharpay.
Oh, all of them. Yeah. Gabriella, 2006. Yeah, so I was in high school.
6? No way.
Oh, I was middle school. Sorry.
I was like
middle
high school. Wait a second.
I was middle school. Well, I'm 31. So
Okay.
I was like probably 7th grade, I think.
Yeah. I'm 29, so.
Yeah. So you're 5th grade. You're right about to go into finishing elementary school.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That was when?
that's crazy, right?
That's so weird. I mean, I
2006.
guess that makes more sense why we would have loved that, because that's like prime time of like a show like that.
Yeah, that's when it was like Vanessa Hudgens, Gabriella,
Yep,
just
yes,
like,
I mean.
and then that was like our crush, and then Zac Efron
Yep.
was a girl's crush,
Yep.
so it's like
Oh my
it just
god.
made sense. But anyways,
Bringing memories
yeah,
back.
I was just wondering if maybe you had like a High School Musical moment.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I always try to think like what was the show that got me. I mean, I totally grew up watching two things. We either watched a ton of like rom-coms, like 2000s, a lot of those. So those are like that's my heart right there. What I want to like write and things like that. And then then we watched all like the procedurals growing up. So we were just like NCIS and 24 and all those CSI, New York, like LA, whatever. I mean Las Vegas, it was like constant of that type of stuff. So I'm like, I don't really know if either one of those would have been like, I know for me that when you ask me what's my favorite movie of all time, it's 13 going on 30.
Okay.
So that's like my core movie of like, I still want to. So as I also write, so that has been my, like I said, my new passion within all this world. It really kind of sparked during strike when we couldn't work. I started to write, and that kind of came out of necessity of just, as an actor, I realized I wasn't getting roles that I wanted to actually do, wasn't getting the type of stories that I wanted to tell. So I was like, oh, I'll just write them myself. But then, so one of the big things that I want to write is like a rom-com of that 13 going on 30 essence, but like based in Hawaii. So it's like, that's something I really, I'm working on.
Okay, something like young girl going to Ante.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a regular girl. Just as the show goes on, she just gets more Hawaiian bangles on her wrist. Her tita comes out a little bit more. Her hair starts down at the end of the film. It's just a tita bun. Something like that, right?
The biggest one you ever seen.
The biggest one you've ever seen. Yeah. So maybe something like that.
Maybe we gotta work together.
We'll collaborate.
Huh? Yeah. So you gotta cut that. We can't tell the world before they take
our
our
idea. We'll bleep that out. Yeah. It'll just be like, right as we're starting, it'll be like,
it's the idea. Yeah, it's like, and that's good. And that's the movie.
Exactly.
And it's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But at what point did you know like this could be a career for you? Was it when you booked the Finding Ohana role? Was that like your big break?
Yeah, I definitely think I always consider Finding Ohana my big break. It was so when I was in LA, when I started to work, I got into commercials first. And I was really lucky because I was living in LA in the time of ethnically ambiguous.
So you were the token Hawaiian,
I was
the token
token ethnically ambiguous, because that was the thing in commercial world. Like, they on auditions and stuff, they'll put like sometimes like a race or ethnicity that they like want. But in a commercial, most of the time they don't really care. It's more of like they have an image of what they're trying to say. So it's like the girl driving the new Lexus, like she's like Japanese, and it's like, okay, ish, and then it's like, then they just see girls and then like they're like, you look kind of Asian. I mean, like I got cast. It was actually pretty crazy. It was way before a lot of these movements where like, and even in casting, we're starting to be a lot more culturally appropriate and trying to be more careful, with ethnic backgrounds and things like that for casting, which is awesome. But back then, I mean, just a few years ago, that wasn't even a thing. So in the commercial world, really, they were casting anything. So they would be casting me for Indian, Hispanic, Persian, like anything. Like they changed me just a little, and I worked. And luckily in commercial world, it just wasn't a major part of the story ever. It was just what they were looking for in their head, and they're like, if you look like it, good enough for us. So like I was working pretty constant in commercials, which is it's really fun. Commercials are a fun world, and I always tell actors like you should get into it, especially if you're just starting off. It's what gave me a lot of my understanding of set. And when you're on set, it's so fast. It's loud. There's so many moving parts. Everyone has a job. And like, if you're an actor coming in for like a one-time, one-liner thing, it's super overwhelming if you don't have any concept of what's going on in set. So when me doing all these commercial shoots, I was able to really learn and see what the pacing is and how quick you have to be and how on you have to be, cameras, angles, lights, all these types of things. So I did that for like 5 years. And then my team, I love them, and we kind of had this talk of like, hey, you didn't move to LA and uproot your life back home to just be a commercial actress, like you know that what you came out here was because you wanted to be in film and television. And it kind of was like that wake up that I was like, oh yeah, like I got complacent with just being in commercials. And again, I was still working my regular jobs, but it was like I got a little complacent with that place I was in, because commercials, they pay well, they're fun, they're easy. You get a sense of gratification, like you're, you know, pursuing your dream there. But I knew for me what I wanted was to be in movies, to be in television. And so we kind of reshifted and really started to focus in more on the film and television side. Like, there's different types of agents you get. That's why, because you have a commercial agent that's only for your commercials. There's print agents, theatrical agents, which will send you out to film and television. So we kind of refocused, got with a good theatrical agent, and like, I want to say it was like within the first, I would just say year to have a safe zone, but it was within the first year that Finding Ohana came our way. And that was
awesome.
Crazy one, because again, there was nothing for Polynesians at that time. So when that came through and we saw on the audition breakdown that it's like looking for real Hawaiians, and I was like, like
Real Hawaiian.
grass skirts and like coconuts or something. Like, okay, I didn't really take it serious. And like, you know, Hollywood, they like to be sneaky sometimes, so they don't like put things like, they're like untitled project, so you don't know lots of information. And I don't know, I think this might be the first time I publicly shared this story, that like I actually almost didn't go to the audition. I almost missed it because as I said, I was working, you know, I had like a day job and things like that, and the audition came through. I didn't have a lot of information about it, me getting complacent and lazy a little at times, that I forgot. This was also another thing for industry wise. Before, it was like, you get your audition, it's the next day. It's like, it's so quick, sometimes same day. So it's really fresh in your mind. This is the first time I ever got an audition, and I remember it was like the audition wasn't for a week and a half or 2 weeks or something. So it easily floated to the back of my mind. I didn't think of it. And so grateful, my friend, she called me and she was like, the day before, she's like, are you going to that audition? Because again, any Hawaii person was all going to this audition. We all go to the same auditions together. And she's like, I went to mine. Are you going to yours? I was like, oh my God, I forgot. I was like, holy moly. So I like rushed, learned all my lines, got it all prepared. And the next day I went. It was like such a great audition. And as our industry goes again, I didn't hear anything for like a month. I forgot about it. You audition and you throw it to the back of your mind. That's the only way. Yeah. It's the only way you stay sane. If you stay on the same project and keep thinking about it, you go literally crazy.
Like keep checking your phone.
Yeah, literally calling your agent. Yeah. Did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? And so you have to find this separation to just like try not to think about it. And then like a month went by. I didn't hear anything. And then, and every project is different. There's different steps: audition, callback, second callback, producer session, chemistry read. There's so many different things. So you never know how they're going to operate it. But this one, it was like, I did the audition. A month later, they called me in and I had to do a chemistry read. And so they do these things called chemistry reads, where essentially they're just testing chemistry between actors. So whether it's a romantic couple, brother, sister, you know, families, friends, like they just want to see if we throw these three actors together and they're going to be the lead of this, like, are they going to actually be able to blend, you know? Like, I know they're actors, but sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. It's interesting to see. So I did that. And that was actually where I first met Alex and Kea. That was so fun. We love that day, because that was the moment I realized. I was like, oh, chemistry reads work, because when we got together, it was just like instant like connection, and it was so fun, and you could see that spark right away. And I was like, oh, I see why they do these things, because like, you know, like some of the other ones, like we got along and it kind of worked, but there was a kind of magic when the three of us came together. So we did that, and then I think again maybe a month went by, and then we got the call, and that call is like, that was your typical LA dream. It's like the best thing to ever think about. Like when you see in the movies, like you get the call.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm at home, get the call. It's my management. Hi, Lindsay. Like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at home. They're like, okay, we have a few people on the line right now. And I was like, okay. And they're like, are you sitting down? I was like, yeah. I was like, they're like, you booked the role of Hana. And I was like, oh, I mean, like that was the best feeling ever. I was home by myself too. Of course, that sucks. I'm like running around my apartment, like I didn't literally. I'm like, thank you. I was like, and I was just like screaming and freaking out, because I mean, I'd worked I definitely was. I was no overnight person. I didn't walk into LA and get it handed to me. Like, I did my work and I was training and I did, and I had so many no's, so many no's. I read for a lot of things and never worked. And like to have the thing finally click, it was like that relief of just like feeling like you're validated in what you love so much and what you're trying to pursue. And so it was just, that was the turning point for me. It was like that happened. And it was so exciting to call everyone.
Who was the first person you called?
I called my parents.
Okay.
Yeah. I called my parents. I mean, even then, they didn't even have like a concept of like understanding
How big it was.
Yeah, like, and they're so supportive regardless. But it was just like, yeah. I mean, like, I think I had an inkling of how big this was, but then as it started to unfold, I was like, oh my God. And I think it also helped because I was in the LA scene and circle. I had a lot of friends that this happened to, you know? You go to acting class, you're all friends, you're just like working and stuff. And then it's like, boom, so-and-so booked their job. And it's just like this turning point. And it's so exciting to watch it happen. And like, I always made sure to keep myself in circles where it was always people pushing each other up and not pulling each other down, because it happens often there. You know, it's a competitive industry and it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, it was just like calling everyone, going into that motion, and then it was immediate of just like, oh man, that's when it got kind of like serious, because that's when like negotiations and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm like, but I gotta play cool. Like, yes, I booked this. We have to negotiate. Netflix.
Yeah. I'm not that excited.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. I'm like, okay, what do you guys?
Yeah,
what are we talking
HBO has another deal for me waiting. I mean,
so it was like such a geeky,
maybe add one more zero to the end of that contract.
I'm like, that's it. As I'm working a day job as like a front desk girl at a gym, I'm like, that's all you want to pay. I'm like, but it was like such a crazy world, and I was just really lucky. I had a good team that like got me through that, because it was a lot. Again, it's that it really, and like I don't like saying the overnight stardom type thing, because it's like it really wasn't overnight, because I worked, you know, I really pounded the pavement to get there, but it was this overnight change of like direction for sure, because then from there getting into it, and it was so exciting when you're finally in a project and attached to a project. It's really fun, because like a lot of the life of an actor is just trying to get the job, just trying to get the job and wanting and chasing and networking and this, and it's like it's hurtful, it's exhausting. And then when you get the job and you get into it, we actually get to the part we love as actors, the creatives, where we get to
acting.
We get to act, we get to create. I got the role of Hana, and it's like she's something on paper, but like, what am I gonna do to bring her to life? How do I bring Lindsay to her? And that's what we as actors love, is like, how do we bring these characters to life and add essence of ourselves, because that's what makes actors so special, is just what you can bring yourself to the role. And so it was nice to finally be on that relief side of just like, oh, I get to just enjoy and do what I actually love and not fight for a job like every single day. And it just made it so much better that it was the coolest production ever and so fun. The nicest people. So for me, Kea, and Alex, it was all of our first movie. So the four leads, me, Kea, Alex, and then Owen, who was the boy who plays Casper.
The Halle
boy. He was like, how old was he then? Like, I think he was 12, and he had already, I think Finding Ohana was like his 9th or 10th movie in his life.
Wow.
We're like, okay. We got a pro on set. So he kind of was like a nice guide for us to know. You had these 3 Polynesian kids just like geeking out everywhere we're going. And he's like, guys, like, it's not like that. And we're like, okay, sorry. Like, we're trying to figure it out. But it was just exciting to get into it, and then getting into the work. And a lot of people did tell us, hey, don't expect every production to be like this. This is a very special, unique one, because our director was awesome. Our producers were awesome. Our whole crew was awesome. Everyone was very Ohana. Like, literally, it was so family. And, you know, we were here and filmed most of it here in Hawaii. But then cave-wise, you know,
I was wondering where that was at.
Yeah, so we had to do that in Thailand. You know, there's a lot of, I mean, actually couple places here that we couldn't bring a whole production team into caves and things like that. So, I mean, they tried to with, you know, the government and stuff, but it was just a lot of red tape, which makes sense. I was like, hey, I'd rather us not go in there, because I know how dangerous it could be to like our caves are smaller
Yeah.
and a lot
Well,
more
we
intimate.
know, we saw the movie.
Exactly. Right. Obviously.
Yeah, it's-
And if you didn't,
Real life story.
yeah. So we filmed that in Thailand actually. So it was really nice. And it was so crazy how like Thailand is so like Hawaii. There's such an island people like us, so very similar in how they treat people and how they care for themselves and care for others. And it was really nice, and they were so gracious to bring us in, and like, God, they're hard workers. They're such great workers. But yeah, again, even just all of that, like to an actor who just, I'm like, we're like filming in Hawaii and filming in Thailand and going around the world. It was like,
It must have felt so cool.
it
right?
was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Your friend's like, hey, can you go hang out this weekend? Oh, sorry, I'm heading to Thailand right now.
It was such a
We'll catch
like,
up later.
yeah. I'll get back to you. But it was that kind of moment you were trying to fight to get to, and when it was there, it was awesome. And like,
Amazing feeling.
yeah, and I hope for every actor that they get to experience that, because I know the dark part of it. I know the hard part of it, and I say it's worth it now that I've seen the other side, but not everyone has seen the other side. And it's like that's kind of a big part of why I'm so open to coming back always and helping as many people as I can, you know. I mean I do it out in LA too, but I mean out here is where I'd prefer to spend
Totally.
most of my time. It's just,
This is your community.
yeah, this is my community, this is my people. It's where I feel safest, it's where I feel most motivated. And I always like when I look at especially some younger ones that have come through, like it's that so stereotypical, but I see myself when I was young, and I wish I had something like this. I wish I had programs like, so when I have the opportunity to be that person for them now, I'm so stoked. And you know, like I said, with ICANN, I'm happy that there's an actual program that's doing it, and people that are in bigger positions and, you know, in places of power that are helping with this, because that's the only way we're gonna like shift this narrative and be able to get more people in the door, more Hawaiians in the door, more locals in the door, is that if the people in power are the ones controlling it. So yeah, and then, you know, after finding Ohana, it was like we went straight into COVID. It was a weird transition of like, you felt all this momentum. We were like, had all these things planned, like premieres and all this stuff, and literally everything went. It was crazy. That's where kind of I feel sad of like, we never got to have that yet. Like I still,
a proper tour kind of thing.
Like as an actor, I still, haven't really had that proper, really fun movie release, premiere and everything.
Ward.
Yes,
that's basically
our thing.
Basically like the red carpet
That's
in
what
Hollywood,
we said.
right?
We're like, this is our version of
The Hawaii Theater.
Yeah. Ward, obviously.
Consolidated
and then,
theaters.
Obviously, the same exact thing. So
yeah, so you're good already.
So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, stop complaining. Yeah, come on, what?
God.
Isn't that like the Met Gala or something?
Right, yeah, Met, Consolidated
it's the same
Theaters,
thing.
Ward, Bukit and
There's-
Beppo,
yeah.
like, yeah, you know, like it's
Escalator.
all the same. Yeah. Broken Escalator.
Dave and Buster.
We did actually do something at Dave and
Met
Buster's
Gala
after.
don't got Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I know. I'm dead. But yeah, so it's kind of like, there's still so many things as an actor. I still consider myself literally new and starting.
Just beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the exciting part, because you've already like tasted this, you know, success, and then it's still so early.
Yeah.
Like that, for me, that's like with this podcast, it's like, man, it's only been 2 years since we've been doing this, and like, look how far we've come, and
see
like
what can
sponsors, and like
happen.
I could do this for a living now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is it going to be like in 5 years,
I know.
10 years, 20 years if podcasts are still a thing, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, just like, look at Kelly Hu. Like, she's had like such a long career, right?
I love her.
And like, well, you've been, you know, I guess in the spotlight, I would say, since like finding Ohana.
Yeah.
Right? And that's only what, 3 years?
It was
Since it came out 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and it's so funny, and it's nice to have conversations like that to remind myself, because I get so hard on myself, you know, when I feel like I'm not where I want to be, and I always try to have like perspective to be like, yeah, hey, but look what you have done, and you know, look how it has helped people, look how it has shaped, you know, and changed a lot of things in the industry. I feel like finding Ohana was one of the first things in the last few years that kind of started to open that narrative of like, look, a story about Hawaii in Hawaii, and we can film here and we shoot. So it's like, I have to remind myself, because I want a lot of things. I'm a super, super driven person, and there's so many, oh God, there's so many things going on in here. And it's like, when I don't have it right now, I like look inward, and I'm like, I get down on myself. And I think, reminding myself that it's like, it's just the beginning. You've already done good, and now what else? I mean, it's so I love when I was on Wind of the Reckoning. This was such a great thing for me that really put me into perspective, because I think even while I was filming Wind of the Reckoning, I was still just like, I need to do more. And I remember talking to Jason, and like he was telling me about like his breakout role and everything in this movie. And when we were talking, I realized that the age he was the age I was. And I was like, God, I look at Jason like such like a pillar, in this industry, and he's so successful, and I respect him so much. And I was like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm just such like, I'm so behind, like what a little loser. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, like this thing where he started was like, I'm at that age, like that I'm just starting. Like, look at his career, what he's created for himself and what he's done, and how he's full circle come back to Hawaii, and he's connected again. So I'm like, okay, I got time.
Yeah, there's always those examples, like have you heard of Patrick Stewart before X-Men?
Yeah.
And then he was in Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So it's like people have late starts in their career, even like the people like business wise. Like I think Apple, like when Steve Jobs created Apple, he was already like pretty old, and like all those examples like that. So yeah, it's exciting for us, and especially for Hawaii kids to like kind of pave this path for the future generation, and show that it is possible to do something, to be passionate about something, to do what you love and make a living. The Finding Ohana role that you had, I thought it was so perfect for you, because it was a local girl who had dreams to go to, was it Juilliard or something?
Juilliard.
Yeah. And I saw some interviews with you about that, and saying like it was like basically what you
it was literally
were striving for. So I think that's why it came out so authentic on screen. And it was such a fun, just joyride watching that, because I only recently watched Finding Ohana. I remember when it came out, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah, no.
And then I finally watched it.
I'm gonna forgive you for that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't know why it took me so long. Yeah, I want to say I'm busy, but then I think I got caught up in watching a lot of anime, and then I just watched anime for a while.
That's that's a black hole right there.
Yeah,
That's hard to get.
So I think that's
right
what
there.
it was, which I want to bring up when we talk about Wind in the Reckoning, because I had a comparison for that. But just wanted to give you your flowers on Finding Ohana, and everybody, that whole crew. It was so cool just to see a movie filmed in Hawaii, based in Hawaii, about Hawaii, with Hawaii people on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that movie, it's pretty
really
rare.
It's very unique, and I've only now realized it more as time has gone on. Not only is that movie itself such a great movie, the big part as an actor, why I really appreciated that production, they, as non-Hawaiians, big successful Hollywood people, they gave us so much control, and they listened to us. Like, that's so rare in this industry and in these stories. I think I took advantage of it in that moment, or took it for granted, might I say, in that moment, that it's like, I thought that was going to be the norm. Because there's scenes in Finding Ohana that actually were written a certain way that me as a Hawaiian, they opened the conversation really early. If there's anything that doesn't sit right with you, if you feel like it's not going to go across to your people, like, let us know, because we're all ears to change it. And that could have been all talk. They could have said that, and when I did it, then it would be not. But like, they listened. There are literal scenes in the movie that we rewrote. Some that we rewrote right, like, I mean, minutes of filming, and we were scratching on our script, changing certain things, changing certain wordings, adding things to make it work. At the end of the day, it's a big production, so there's certain massive things we can't change. But the things that I really was like, hey, I'm a Hawaiian actress. At the end of the day, this is going to be my face saying these things and putting this out. I don't want to feel embarrassed, and I don't want to carry that disrespect or weight just because you guys wanted that. So I'm like, you guys gave me the opportunity from the start to open this conversation, and I'm opening it. And so, and they were so receptive. They really did. They listened. And I can't say all productions are like that. And there's quite a bit of that issue going on in our industry, actually, of just like the lack of care, the lack of listening. And so I'm hoping productions like Finding Ohana like will come back, because I think that's why it did so well. It was fun. It was creative, but it touched on Hawaii just enough and in the right enough light. I feel
it piqued
like
people's curiosity.
Yeah,
Like
it made people
a different Hawaii.
Yeah, and then like, you know, it's crazy how like this is why I freaking love film. I get people in Sweden and Africa and like the craziest places who are messaging me who's like, I'd never heard any Hawaiian words, or I never knew this about Hawaii. And it's like, and they're like, we want to come now. We want to, you know, learn more. So it's like, it's interesting to see what it can do when you present it. And again, I like that we presented it in an accurate way. So when they say things like that, that's the first time I heard about this is the first time I heard ho'oponopono, you know? It's like things like that. It's like,
besides
I didn't know.
all those viral
Besides
Instagram, that's what my girlfriend and I kept
that one.
referencing that every time. We're like, I think we watched some of those
We're-
videos after. We were like, yeah.
We're not associated. But it's like, you know, it's cool to see how using film, how it can go global to kind of help our voices be kind of put on the map. And Finding Ohana was this very first early version of that. And like, I mean, getting into Win in the Reckoning, that's like, you know, really putting our stamp on it and putting it out there. But yeah, I think it was exciting to have a production that finally listened. And like I said, I think I didn't realize in the moment that that was a rarity, because since then, it's a struggle. I just say that. It's a struggle.
Well, having, I guess, like, accurate, factual things in Finding Ohana, like, maybe even just, like, as simple as, like, the pigeon is one thing. But then going to the Win in the Reckoning and having accurate, factual history and Hawaiian is like a whole nother level of pressure. Because like I remember watching Finding Ohana, I was like, some of the pigeon, like you could tell the people who actually spoke pigeon.
Yeah.
Like, I know Kelly nailed it, you nailed it. Some
Exactly.
people are just like, yeah,
Branscombe.
yeah, you're like, it was all right.
Yeah.
But like, if you got it, you got it.
Yeah,
like, you
no,
can't,
it's
you can't
a
like
natural
act
born
the
thing.
pigeon. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm no good at it if you can't tell. Like, it's,
But you still get the essence of it,
Yeah.
because even like Kelly and you guys aren't people that speak pigeon like
Yeah.
in your normal vernacular.
No.
Same with me. I don't talk pigeon all the
Right.
time, but like you can do it.
Yeah, if we need to, we got
you
it.
can hear it.
It's in
Yeah.
the cocoa.
It's in the cocoa. yes. Great callback.
Thanks.
But yeah, and I remember like some of them like we wouldn't really say it like that, but it worked. It was awesome. It was great seeing it. And then when I heard about the Win in the Reckoning, because Hawaiian is my first language. I'm not sure if you know that. I went Hawaiian immersion school.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah. So like
How
people were
cool.
telling me about this. So
Oh my god.
I was like,
I'm
okay.
more scared now.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna wait till just rip this
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
apart. And I don't know if you know Danny from 808 Viral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she told me about it. I don't know if
So awesome.
she sent me a screener. I wonder if I think I might have watched it before it came out on theater, because
okay.
she was asking me about certain parts, about one part about like when they were talking about the haole.
Yeah.
I think she was asking if that was like controversial or something, and then if like the Hawaiian was right. I was impressed just getting out.
Thank you.
out of it.
I was
Like-
waiting. I was holding my breath this whole time. Once I found out, I was like, so what's
Yeah. Like obviously you can tell it's not as natural as
Yeah.
like a native speaker.
Of course.
But from just like somebody picking it up, not being a native speaker, it's still
for 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks. Yeah, and
2 weeks.
I've listened to other interviews
Yeah.
about all of this, and you guys basically did it during the pandemic. You had 2 weeks to film, and I remember watching I think it's another podcast with Gavin's podcast with you, Jason, and David. Talking about it, and like how Jason was saying he wishes he had like more time to
I
learn.
know.
But with
of us.
the short amount of time that you guys were able to do it was really good, because not only you had to learn this language that you're not fluent in, but you have to act and like there's so much to think
Yeah.
about when just doing that.
Yeah.
So
You're running around, you're
yeah.
barefoot. Again, it's all hours of the day. It's during COVID. We are worrying about the mask. You're acting. I'm crying and crying. And like, and on top of that, it's like you're trying to know your own lines, make sure you're saying them right, pronouncing everything
Yep.
right. Then I also had to learn everyone else's lines because
Yeah,
I had
that's the
to
thing,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
When to respond,
I
right?
had to know what they were saying.
Yeah.
I had to respond.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't just be like deer in the headlights, just waiting for their
Mm-hmm.
line to be done. Because like, again, that's part of our job as actors, and so it was so many layers. And then again, the physicalities when we're running and we're screaming, and oh my god, I was like. Going from Finding Ohana is so fun. So Hana, we're like walking around and having fun. And we're
Singing Megan Trainor.
yeah, literally, like chilling in the car, and then like this flip. But to me, that was like the true test of an actor for
Totally.
like to see if I was capable of it, and if I enjoyed it, honestly, because that was hard. That was a hard
heavier
movie.
role.
It was heavy,
Yeah.
and for me as an actor, I put my all into it. You know, I always do, and I think all really strong actors do. So like for example, when I was filming When in the Reckoning, like I had to get so far into the mind of Pi'ilani and make it my own in order to feel like I was going to be like encompassing all that she is and doing the best of my ability. And so shedding that layer off when they call cut isn't easy. Like, like sometimes, and especially because we had no time. We filmed the movie in 16 days, so it was run and gun. We were going the whole time. So it's like, okay, you're working. We need go. Then you're like cut, and then you're wrapped, but you go sleep, and then you wake up, and you're still in. We film on the same place we live too. So it's like there was no separation. It was hard to have that. So like I'd be sitting in my room after, and I'm just like feeling the weight of like I got myself so convinced like my husband is dying and my son is dying. I don't have a husband or a son, but
Leprosy
I'm like,
everywhere.
yeah, I'm like sitting in my room and like I can just feel the heaviness. And it's like I would literally call my mom and I'd be like, can you just talk about like puppies and kittens and rainbows really quick? Because I'm having a hard time getting myself out, which is like a flaw of actors sometimes.
I
like,
hear that. Yeah, method acting, right?
yeah, it's
Like,
a
you
sense
get
of
really
method where
into
you
it.
put yourself so hard, and normally you have more time and space to like, okay, you wrap for the day, you go out to a restaurant and you get distracted and you kind of forget about the character you were just in. But it's like this one we couldn't leave. We're in a bubble.
You lived there.
We
Where
didn't
was
even-
it filmed?
We were on the Big Island up on like what am I blanking right now?
Like on Kona side or
No, why am I
Waimea.
freaking blanking?
Kohala?
Kohala, sorry,
Okay,
Kohala,
nice.
thank you. Holy moly. Jeez, I was like, why is this word not coming to me? We're up on the Kohala side. There was, we were on like a plot of land of 55 acres.
Wow.
And so we lived, shot, everything there. And so that's like also a once in a lifetime experience as an actor. Like I'll never experience having to spend every second with my co-stars and my director and my DP and the crew. Like it's normally not like that, and there was no turnover of like new people coming in and out because like you come in,
COVID,
you
yeah.
got tested, you got in the bubble, you stayed in the bubble, and that was it.
You could never leave.
No, we were stuck. The first time when we wrapped and we actually got to go back to town, we're like, people, cars, whoa, like, cause I mean we were on the tippity tip out there, like
Koalas,
away.
yeah. it's
Yeah,
out in
no.
the boonies. There's
I mean, and we were like shocked at Kohala Town. We're like, whoa, big city. Like it was like this tiny little town, and we were so shocked to walk into a restaurant.
it's country. There's country with a C and country with a K, and that's country.
It was beautiful though. I mean, it was beautiful, and it was nice that we were able to film during pandemic in a place tucked away that like everyone could stay safe. And we did our entire production, no COVID cases the entire time. Like that
Wow.
was a feat in itself to make sure that no one. I mean, because if one person got COVID, our whole thing was shut down, and the movie would have been trashed because our budget was about this big.
Yeah.
So you don't have wiggle room for mistakes like that. So it was really important. We were testing like 3 to 4 times a week. You have to wake up, go out. We had our COVID testers out there. We only had and we had to be very creative with shooting schedule of making sure you couldn't, like, normally you can just chill on set and go around and be like watch, like you couldn't. There was a lot of the movie I didn't even see filmed because I only was shooting when it was my turn to shoot. I didn't get to go and watch other people and do that. And like there was only one day where we had like everyone had to be in the same scene. There's actually only one scene like that. And that day we literally had to have everyone tested and do the rapid test to make sure that day we knew everyone could film safely together.
Yeah.
And that was the only way. So it's like a massive part of our budget went to
COVID
COVID test.
testing.
Genuine. Gone. But like a good chunk of it. So it's like, I mean, that's a struggle with independent film. You know, there's not a
Yeah.
lot of money there, but we get to control the narrative. We get to do that. And controlling the narrative for a movie like that is important. I mean, I can't even imagine what would have happened with the movie if it went to like, you know, bigger hands in a studio and things like that. I
Would have seen some hula skirts.
yeah, for sure. You would have seen some things you would have not been happy about, and like, and I know for sure they would have never taken the risk of doing it in the Hawaiian language. They would have never done Olelo Hawaii, and we are now seeing at the back end that was a big part that made it difficult for us to distribute. You know, a lot of people were asking, when is the movie coming out? It took a long time because there was such a kickback of these studios didn't want a film in the Hawaiian language, which we always just talked about, like, what a slap in the face to us, you know, as a people, our language, our culture, that they're saying it's not marketable, it's not sellable, like no one's gonna want to watch this. And I was like, that was like a hurtful thing after I don't think I thought about it ever that way, because it's like, oh, there's so many movies out there that show other cultures and other languages, and that's normal. So what's different about us in our story and our language? And it's like, to them, I think they're like, oh, there's not enough of you to make enough money for us. So it was like, it was hard, but it was extra hard after the movie had done its round and it made such an impact. Like, so many people loved the movie, so many people connected to the movie. We were having Hawaiians, non-Hawaiians, other Polynesians, people based in Hawaii, people in Boston and Minneapolis and Indianapolis and like things like that, where it's like you never expect a movie like this to make waves there and to affect people, and again, especially non-Hawaiians. So it was extra hard. That I'm like, wait, the movie's good though, and people like the movie, but it's like, you guys still don't want to put it out. So it was like,
no, it was such a significant moment in film for me, because like growing up speaking Hawaiian, you never saw people speaking Hawaiian on the movies or TV shows, not even really social media, you know, growing up. So seeing that on the big screen was such a cool moment, and just to see how far we've come with the language, you know, it being a dying language and now a thriving language, and I thought it was very impactful just to get the word out there
just
that like this is like a real language, and we can do it in Olelo Hawaii, and it can be a successful movie. And that was the thing I was going to bring up with anime, is that, you know how many people watch anime in the world? And they're reading subtitles
all day.
Subtitles. Like, I read subtitles all the time.
It's a you know, it's a cartoon still, and you know, and it's like I love that it's not just kids. It's literally like a span. There's such a big audience for it, and that's why I'm like, people watch K-dramas, people watch anime. There's such an audience. I mean, Parasite, things like this that are massive.
Squid Games. That's subtitles. Money Heist.
Money Heist.
Yeah.
As I was, it's a total thing. So it was like, really, I think that's what hurt more. It was just like, it was because it was us and our language, and that just like,
it's like Hawaiian language, more niche.
It's too.
Who's gonna care about Hawaiian?
Yeah. So it was hard, but I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, like, we got it out there, you know. Go watch it, guys. Amazon, Apple. When the Reckoning's available now.
Yes. So that's a new thing. You guys got the international distribution.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that's very rare in Hawaii-made films. Which is, I've learned about that more recently. Is like, we have all these great films that are made here, but getting distribution is the hardest part.
It's so hard. I mean, it was hard for us. It was literally hard for us. And, you know, we were working with people who've done this, who've been in the industry for a long time, and they still struggled. So to get that just done alone, we give ourselves, you know, a pat on the back, because that's big. That's huge. And like you said, my whole thought about this is like, just again, it's kind of like Finding Ohana with Wind in the Reckoning. It's opening the door. It's the first of many. Yeah, I mean, and of course, are there going to be critics of like all Hawaii things? Yeah, always. But to me, it's this idea that making some movement forward is better than nothing. So like me, I knew my passion was always going to be acting and performing and film and television. So it was like, how can I use my passion, my medium, to help my culture, help Hawaii, you know, help elevate? And to me, it's like how you just said, Wind in the Reckoning. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time and everything, but I still feel proud that we did it. We got it out there. And now there is a movie with our Hawaiian language that, say there's a moment again that the language starts to die off. If there's a generation 5 times down now, they can watch this movie and have that, like, you know, we never really had anything. And I feel like, and I not only feel, I know that people have watched this movie and it's rekindled something in them. That's like, we've gotten a lot of conversations of people who are like, seeing it like on a screen like this, it made me want to reconnect to it. It made me want to explore that again. And to me, like, that's the stuff that we should be looking for. That's what we should be pushing for and supporting. And that's why we're just kicking the door open. And like, this was not easy to kick this door open. You know, it took a lot of time. We spent a lot of hours and hours and days, not only working on this, but then getting it out to the world. Like, that wasn't like like Finding Ohana was a easy walk in the park, you know. Netflix, it was done. It was like, we filmed the movie and Netflix is gonna put it out and do it and everything's set up. Like, this was like Hawaii grassroots movement type vibe with this movie of like, these are just Hawaii people who cared about it and wanted to get it done. Many people sacrificed time and money, and we had to fight to get, you know, sponsors and stuff to get us around, to get the word out. But we did it, and we were fine, and we were happy with it. And you know, I volunteered a lot of hours to go out and support the film and do it. And I'm happy to see that it's getting the recognition right now. And I just see that as the opening for others. Like, I'm like, I will always hold the door open. Like, I don't have time for the small table, you know, like the whole thing is like, oh, no seat at the table, build a bigger table. Like, that's all we're trying to do. Yeah. And I think
bring
that's
some chairs.
Yeah, exactly. I say I got some foldable chairs in the back.
Exactly. That's Hawaiian style.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's style.
I like sit on the ground.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah,
sit on the
I'm
kulas,
excited,
everything. Yeah. That's awesome. So before we get into social media questions, we gotta take a shishi break. The shishi meters building.
It's going.
It's going.
She's
So what was your biggest takeaway from that? From the Wind and the Reckoning?
Oh man, I think for me, the biggest takeaway was I have actually a few of these.
Yeah.
One for me was, I know that was a reconnecting for me to the culture and Hawaii. Like we talked about, I moved to LA. I left. I was out there, and there's nothing, you know, there's nothing Hawaii about it out there. So and in this industry, it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race that I know that there was that part of me that got kind of shelved and I didn't explore it for a while because I was just so laser focused on my career and things like that, that I know there's parts of me that I wasn't giving time to. And being on this production during COVID, that kind of pulled me away from the rest of the world and had me really sit. We didn't have Wi-Fi, we didn't have TVs, we didn't have none of that. You know, there was just a lot of silence and connection back to, and being on this homeland, sacred land there. I know for me personally, it kind of really helped me rekindle that connection, because I know it had faded, because that's what happens when you're away. You know, sometimes if you're not actively working on it and practicing, it goes away. So I know for me that was a big thing, and it was such a accomplishment to do this film in the language, and I never thought I could. Like, again, I don't even know where it came from in me of being able to tackle that I just like, I've talked about the fact that I almost turned down the role because I was too afraid to take it on in that short amount of time, and the weight, I knew the weight that role carried. I knew there was going to be a lot of responsibility doing something like this when it's kind of the first of its kind, first time our language is really going to be put up like that. These are real people, historical Hawaiian figures, a real part of our history. And like, thinking that I only had 2 weeks to prepare for it, I was just like, you guys are crazy. Like, I can't do this. I'm not going to do that. It almost felt like career and cultural, like suicide at the start of my, you know, like it really did. When I was like, you think I'm just going to like take this lightly as a joke? Like, and so I really, there was a big hesitation. I almost left. I really did. And
same with Jason. I remember him saying
both
that
of us, we did. But we were very lucky that our culture advisors and David and everything, they like came and they were like, you guys can do this. Like, it's in your blood. It's part of who you guys are. It's in the koko. Guys, it's in the koko.
And in doing that and going through all those hardships, you guys found Ohana.
Yeah. We found Ohana. Wow, look at these. The circles in my life are just circling.
Exactly.
Man.
And honestly, you know, you had 2 weeks to prepare, but
Yeah.
you've been preparing since the 2nd grade at Kamehameha schools, Imua.
Guys.
Mahalo Pawahi.
Yeah, I know. Pawahi Bishop. Pledge to develop our potential in all we do. Yeah, no, it was just like I knew. I think the moment that I sat in that made me not leave was the fact of being conscious that there was only 2 weeks till we started filming, and I didn't know if I could be sure that whoever they could find in that short amount of time to take on this was gonna put the same dedication and weight to the situation. And I think there was a part of me that I was like, I know me. I'm not going to take this lightly. I'm going to put all my heart and soul into this and make sure it's done right. And it worked out that I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm so scared. I was so scared. Hours and hours of practicing. Jason and I talk about how we didn't even talk to each other when we filmed because we were so focused.
Studying.
Yeah, we were in our rooms, like just constant. I mean, you know, we found our moments to hang and relax, but just it was like lingering in the back of your head always and making sure. But we were also ultra careful because we had our kumus on set, literally mic'd up, and they would hear everything we would say. And if there was like mistakes, we'd go back and start it again and do it again. And so we really tried to eliminate any like errors in any room for error as well. So I don't know how we did that in 16 days and learned the language and performed and everything. The only fluent speaker was Kahiao, our son. So it was like, it was truly insane. But again, this opening of this door that I'm just hoping. I wish we had more like natural born speakers, and hopefully there's more natural born speakers who also want to pursue acting.
That's the thing.
Like,
it's because there's a lot there's a lot of native speakers in Hawaii, or just like people who are fluent but like they don't act.
Yeah,
I don't act.
Exactly.
Like I'm not gonna go out for that role, you know.
Exactly.
So like that's
so it was
the thing.
a weird middle ground we were battling, because you know, like that was a lot of conversation of like we were gonna just get speakers, but we couldn't be confident that they would be able to act and you know, hold up a role of this size. So it's like hard, but it's been cool. Again, I can. There's like, you know, there's we have a few speakers in the classes already, so it's cool to see that. I'm like, oh my god, how exciting! Like when projects come like this, like you guys walk in the park, like you guys will be able to do that so easy. So I'm just excited to see like what's coming, because I feel this like shift in what's happening here in our industry in general, but also in Hawaii, and I see it. It's coming. It's
coming. Stay tuned.
I know.
Summer 2025.
Yeah. Hopefully
it's coming.
Sooner.
All right. Well, mahalo for sharing that. Again, great job in the movie. I know we have some questions about it anyway, so let's take a quick shishi break and we'll be right back. What if we told you the next 3 times you fill your tank, you could save money? Well, at Texaco in Hawaii, it's true. You can get $1 off per gallon on your next 3 visits when you download the Texaco app and join Texaco Rewards. Earn points on every fuel transaction and qualifying in-store purchases at participating Texaco stations. Download the app and join to get started today. Visit TexacoHawaii.com for details. All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Let's get right into the social media fan questions. First one comes from Akoni.x. This person says, I love you. Mahalo for everything you have given me.
I love you too,
Yeah.
Akoni.
Do you know who that is?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I was like, wow, you give this person everything. I guess you've given 2 solid movies.
Thanks, Akoni. I love you too. It's Hawaii. There's a lot of Akonis.
Yeah. Okay, and then this person says, if your younger self could see you today, what would they say?
Wow. Had to hit me there. I would like to think that she would say she's really proud of me. Oh, this makes me really sad. I'm sad now. I mean, happy sad because I'm like I said, I'm such a critic for myself. So when I think about it like that, I think she'd be really happy. She'd be really proud. She'd be really shocked to see that we got here because it was a pipe dream back then, a very distant one. So I think she'd say she's really proud of me.
Awesome. Beautiful. I love that.
Do people cry on your show?
Oh, all the time. Why do you think there's tissue in there?
I was gonna say.
Don't worry. We shed a lot of tears on this podcast before.
Okay, good.
We get deep. Don't hold back. Yeah. Okay, and then just because this Akoni is such a big fan, I wanted to get in this other question from the same person. Do you feel you have motivated the younger Hawaiians to be more involved in the movies?
Oh my God. Akoni, stop.
Akoni, who are you?
I know. You're deep. You should write. Actually, no, you know what? This is the Hawaii part of us. We never want to take credit for things we've done. We never want to talk about ourselves, but I've been learning to try to shed that to an appropriate amount to be proud of myself and what I've done. So I will confidently say, yes, I do think that what I've done has helped shape, in some sense, this younger generation. And I say that because I walk around Hawaii now, and it's so exciting to see all these kids and their faces light up, and they're calling me Hana, and they walk around and they want to take pictures, and they're like, "Where's Iowane? Where's Iowane? Is Pili? Do you know where Pili is?" So it's like to know that this happens so often with these young minds, and one on the aspect of they're getting to see their faces on TV, things that we didn't get to see growing up. So knowing that they get to see that, feel seen, feel comfortable. And then to me, I can only imagine that can plant the seeds in the future generations about wanting to either pursue this or just be proud of who they are and share that with the community and share that with the world. So yeah, I do hope, I know the power of our medium of film and television. It does a lot in the world. And I don't care who you are, most humans watch TV and it affects them in a certain way. So I do think that what I've done has affected and will affect, Hawaii and younger generations, which is why I'm so careful about what I do and why I'm so dedicated with what I do, because I want to make a good, lasting impression for all of them. And like, if I can motivate our younger generation to pursue this industry, to pursue their dreams. I mean, I know what I did was crazy to just move off and do these things, and it takes a lot of tenacity, and I hope that them seeing that and it coming to a successful place, that hopefully it will show them like, oh, I can do that. Because I know what I love about my story is that it's definitely not the usual story in Hawaii. And a lot of times in Hawaii, we do a lot of the safe, things, because that's what's the right thing to do. And me, hey, I didn't go to college, I moved away from home. I did all these crazy things, pursued an industry that I didn't know anyone that pursued it. But it worked out, and it can work out. So I hope that just anyone who has any sort of dream that doesn't seem to fall into the norm, I hope that like gives them a sense of like, oh, there's a Hawaii born girl, Hawaii born and raised, moved and did this and chased after that, and it became something, and it turned into something. So yeah, that's a big part of who I am, which is why I want to always keep giving back. I mean, we are nothing without, community and where we came from and all. So that's something that's never lost on me. And I think that's what will keep me different than a lot of the people in LA while I have to be out there, is the essence of Hawaii that travels with me wherever I go, in my work, in my relationships, everything like that. So if that answers your question, Akoni.
Jeez, Akoni, wow. You just got the greatest answer of all time from that.
Akoni, we got to talk one day, man. You know what's going on in this brain of mine.
That was an awesome answer,
Thank
and
you.
I think you're doing a great job at representing
Thank you.
Hawaiians and all ethnically ambiguous people out there.
I got you all. We are ambiguously together.
Yeah, no, for real. I think representation is huge, and like the story you're telling about kids coming up to you, oh, you're Hana, where's he, Joanna, like that's so cool, because we didn't have that growing up, and now we do,
Yeah.
Like we had Kelly Hu and
Yeah,
all
of
them, but
course.
like they look Asian, even though they are from Hawaii. It's cool to see somebody that looks
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah.
So super awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Next question comes from Ray_Hama808. This what a
Hama.
username. Hama808. I'm gonna change mine to Kamaka Diaz
Hama.
Hama8.
8. Just 8.
Okay, was it fun to do Finding Ohana? And then they have like a dash. Renalyn, I guess that's their name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my God, it was so fun. It was illegally fun because it really set me up to think all movies are going to be like that in this industry. It was such a whirlwind. It was just fun the whole time. It was that typical idea of you didn't even know you're working. We did not know we were working. We were doing 16-hour days, and I was fine. I did not even notice. I loved the cast. That's something I can happily say. Hey, I will let you. Not all cast members love each other. It's not easy to bring different talents and different artists together. But this one, I can like confidently say we all loved each other, and we had such a great bond. Still have such a great bond. They're some of my closest friends to this day. But yeah, filming is just fun. That's the other thing of this industry. There's so much like deep emotional work that goes into it, being an actor and telling stories, but like also it's just fun. It's really fun.
I mean,
anyone that gets to be on a movie set, I would love to like next time I'm on set, like do a inside tour of what really goes on, because like we as actors, we talk to each other. It's just such a goofy fun idea that this is our life and it's our job. You wake up, you go into hair and makeup, and you get dressed up in a costume and things like that.
Play pretend.
Yeah, and you go on a set that's a fake set. Like I love when I get to talk to people about Finding Ohana, about what's real and what's not. Like I'll be like, oh, that's a fake cave, and they're like, that's fake. I'm like, yep, like a set designer built that and made it, and it's like. And that's what we do for work. And we go into a fake cave and we fake find treasure, and we do things like that. So Finding Ohana was just such a fun one from top to bottom. I can't even genuinely think of a time when I wasn't having a good time. Because I mean they filmed. I'll speak for them. When they filmed in New York, they were not used to the cold. that was what they were not used to. Especially we were filming in Hawaii, we filmed in Thailand, and then they had to do New York during winter. Oh man, rough times.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was really
Awesome.
fun. I love sharing stories about Finding Ohana.
I love hearing that. Justin Chan, he was on the podcast,
Yeah.
and he shared that like. It's silly. Like if you
It's
think
so
about it, it's just so silly.
It's
like
so silly.
you guys are just like pretending. That's why it
Playing
should be fun,
pretend.
because he was talking about how like sometimes on set people get so serious, and like the director and whatever, and even himself, he had to like catch himself to like be a certain way. So it's like he wants to create an environment which is fun because
Yeah.
what we're doing at the end of the day, it's silly.
It's
Yeah.
literally silly. We're grown people playing pretend
Yeah.
for other people to watch,
And we love
it's-
it.
And yeah, and again, and it's so fun, and we love it, and it's not for everyone, but yes, it really is. I love that. It's really just silly at the end of the day. So it's like, why not just have fun while
Awesome.
you're doing it?
Okay, well, speaking of having fun, this next person, Kimberly _Ray _. I think she's like a super fan of the podcast. She's always leaving questions.
Oh,
So shout
okay.
out to you, Kimberly.
Kimberly,
Um,
go girl.
yeah, you and Akoni.
I know.
Shout out to
You
you
guys should
both.
talk. We should meet.
What has been your favorite role you've played? You're amazing.
Oh, that's tough.
Lexus commercial, 2002.
Yeah, I know. I was like this one time when I was in a United Airlines commercial. Okay. Oh, that's cheap. No, I did because I loved playing Hana because it was me.
Yeah.
It was such a crazy thing to actually play a role where I wasn't acting really. I got to just wholeheartedly be myself, see a version of myself that I grew up with on TV. Like it was really just like a fun, lighthearted thing. But the artist side of me loved playing Pi'ilani because of the challenge. It was physically challenging, it was mentally challenging, emotionally, to put yourself in a character of this type and put yourself in a story. Language aside, which was obviously stressful, but the story itself is just such a heavy, dark role. So knowing that I'm capable of getting there as an artist, because as actors we always are trying to gauge what we're capable of. Thus method actors who will do some crazy stuff. We want to see how far we can take our emotional control. Like that's really, to me, acting is like this, having insane emotional access. I should be able to access these emotions so quickly and so easily, and if I need to change it quickly, I put it back in and grab something really quick. Like as humans we're not too good at that, but I think that's where as actors we have to train that, and I feel like being Pi'ilani really like sharpened that skill of being like, when you watch it, there's a scene like I cry in the rain. Like I think we filmed that 6 to 8 times.
Wow.
And it's being able to rekindle that type of emotion and crying that many times. And it was like, oh, we gotta do it. The lights went out. Oh, the rain went out. Oh, wait, the camera, like you didn't, like we have to move the mark back. Like technical parts of filming.
You're just like,
Yeah, literally. And I'm literally having to cry. And then because it's like a rain scene, I love telling people that, like, they literally, between every single take, had like 4 blow dryers on me and 20 towels because they had to dry me off before every take again, because it had to seem like I was coming freshly out of the house and going into the rain. So I couldn't look wet again. So it's like I'd come out, cry, do it. You have to hit your mark when you're an actor. So I always tell people how when you're like doing a scene like this, it's so funny because I'm like crying and I'm like crying in the rain and I'm running, but I'm like, am I hitting my mark? I'm like peeking down. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't move my mark. Because if you're not on your mark, then the camera's not in focus. And like there's so many things. The lighting's wrong. So it's like a weird little thing that you have to do. But that one, holy moly, every single time. Okay, cut. Oh God, sorry, we gotta go again. Towels, blow dry my hair. They're like flipping my hair. They're drying my hair. 2-minute turnaround, and it's like, okay, right back in.
That's crazy.
I'm building up the emotions again while people are yanking me, blow drying my hair. So it's like, but again, as an actor, you kind of live for that. You live for those moments. Yeah, I love it. So it's hard to say. Both are super fun, and I've done a few other ones that are crazy, but those will stick with me forever. I know for sure.
Awesome. Super cool. Okay, next question comes from another super fan that I think Anmo12318, because this person left questions for me and you.
Oh, yay.
I'm sorry, I'm like on my profile and your profile. That's how much of a fan they do.
Wow.
They wanted to make sure this question was asked.
Okay.
When is Lindsay coming to India?
Oh my God. You know what? I want to come to India, and I just don't know where to go. So, you guys want to fly me to India?
Animal 2318.
Can you guys
Hook it up.
just like book a ticket to the place that you think I should go to? I've have talks. I almost went to an Indian wedding in India, but I couldn't go. So I'm open to India.
Okay, we just gotta make it happen.
I'm down.
Right.
When's the best weather? When do you guys go to India for the best weather?
Yeah, where
think
should you
it's
go?
hot
Where
there.
should you stay? I mean, all these questions
India's
she needs to know.
massive.
Huge. So many people.
So send in more information with your question,
Okay.
and we can figure it out.
Awesome. Okay, next question comes from Bolo Built. This person says, "What are your top 3 goals you want to accomplish by the end of this year?"
I see you, Bolo Built. That's that I know him. He's my personal trainer. If you guys want to train with him, you should train with him.
Okay,
He's
cool.
really awesome.
Oh, that's when you've been you
Yep.
shared the stories recently.
Yep. Sorry, ask the question again, Bolo Built. I wasn't listening.
What are your top 3 goals you want to accomplish by the end of this year?
Ooh, I love this guy. He's a goal-oriented guy, man. He makes
As
me more
most
motivated.
fitness people are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to be like them. There's one of my goals now.
Yeah.
Okay, one goal for sure, because and I lightly talked on it earlier. I want to write my first feature film, which will be a rom-com based in Hawaii. So
About tittas.
Yeah, about tittas and the biggest bun you ever did see.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch out. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what's in there. I'm going to do that. That's for sure. Number 2,
Sorry, can I interrupt you real quick?
yeah.
I keep forgetting. I also have to plug myself for this because anytime a movie comes up or people want to make a movie, one of my dreams is to play a dead body.
No way.
I just always wanted.
Wait,
I just want.
action. Oh, booked. Okay, got it.
I had a little
got
bit
it.
of smile.
Yeah,
I gotta work
but,
on that.
He died happy.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
a character
happy
choice.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I
did that on purpose.
I
yeah.
went out my way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I took
liked
fate
it.
into my own hands.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
So yeah, that's the thing. I usually
Okay.
plug myself as if you need a dead
me
body.
think. Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if your
yeah.
film would need a dead body.
The titta killed someone
Yeah.
who tried to touch her bun.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe she had like a knife in there or
Yeah,
something.
no, I'm always building like a little
Okay,
Rolodex of like people. So
That's
okay.
the only credit I want.
Dead
Like I don't want to
body.
be in
Yeah.
a movie. I don't want to
But
have
do you
no
want to be
big
dead
role.
body number 1, 2?
I want to be the main dead
One.
body. I want to
Dead
be
body
the
number 1, okay.
Yeah, my ego wants to be the
Okay,
main dead
okay.
body.
And you're okay with hair and makeup?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a big zombie person. I like Walking Dead,
Oh.
Dawn of Dead, all that stuff. So that's why I like. I don't want to be a zombie though. I just want to be a dead.
Yeah.
body.
Okay, but I got
So if you know
ideas
any
brewing.
friends,
Okay.
yeah.
I could also just write you in because like
Yeah.
just because we're good like that.
Maybe like
Yeah.
like it would just be like a scene where like
It's literally it's a rom.
it's like an Easter egg, but like there's a dead body.
There's just
Wait, is that the Keep It Low guy?
that's how I kind of write sometimes. I just picture scenes and then I write around it. So here's the scene. Yeah, I see it already.
Okay, cool.
Just dead body.
Dead
Yep,
body,
okay.
yes.
Plug.
But I
Thanks
don't
for the
want to
plug.
be like casted as an extra. Like I want to
No,
be.
Yeah, no, like
I want to be casted.
prime
I don't want to
part.
be an extra. I want
You're
to
a
be
principal
casted as dead body.
But you're dead, so we don't have any lines for
No,
you. So, but you
no.
are a principal talent, and there are
Yeah.
principal talent that don't have lines. So,
Yeah. Okay.
you don't ever want to be alive?
No,
Okay.
it's too easy.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could. Oh my God, I got it already.
You got it.
Yeah, I know what it's gonna
Okay.
be.
All right, so
I can't tell them though.
I'll have my agent
Yeah,
contact you
call
for
them.
negotiations.
Yeah.
Yes. It might be a little pricey.
Well, I mean, of course,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, I've
You're
had
the best dead body I've
a
ever
really
seen.
good dead body.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
With the
No
smile.
professional acting.
No dead body smile like you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk more after the podcast.
Yeah, it's also funny because I'm actually being so serious that I'm literally thinking of it.
I
Like,
know,
this is
I
how
can
my
tell.
brain works.
I'm like, I gotta continue on. She's gonna really.
I genuinely
write
have
a whole
an idea already. I like my friends know how my brain goes. Like I've got something.
Okay. If you do, find a part for me as a dead body in
Yeah.
your feature film, I will do it for free.
Okay.
Yes.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
All right. Well, I'm
So
excited.
there's that.
Cool.
Number 1, so feature film that I'm gonna write, and then also put a dead body in.
Okay.
Number 2, so that was right. This one I've been writing many shorts recently, short films, and also just a feature film is a full length film for anyone who doesn't know. It's just like a movie. Like
That's
when you
good
watch.
clarification.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know that.
So that is what I want to write. I want to write a script that is a full length film, which is generally anywhere between like 80 to like 100, 120 pages. You can kind of stick around that realm, and it's tricky. And then number 2, I want to shoot and film some of the short films that I've been writing. I wrote a few short films, or things that are just a short film. They generally range between like anywhere between 10 to 20 pages and max about 20 minutes. And so I've been writing a lot of those, and I've been wanting to shoot them. So I'm going to actually shoot them, because I also am an actress, a writer, but I want to be a director. So so that
triple
is
threat.
on it. Yeah.
Oh, singer.
And a singer.
Quadruple
Yeah,
threat.
I know. What the heck?
Yeah.
Let's do it all. But yeah, so I want to start to lean into more of my directing, and then I also want to act in my own things. So
Cool.
wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
Okay,
Be like Donald Glover.
3. Yeah, like Donald
him.
Glover.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be Daniela Glover.
Danielle. Lincella.
All right. I'm like, all right, enough of that. And then number 3. Dang. I really want to book a role that brings me back to Hawaii again. If I can do that, ideally.
Did you did people reach out for you for that the High rescue show? Because isn't Alex in it?
Yeah, but yeah. I did not get the role for that one.
Okay.
And
because it's mainly guy main.
Yeah, it's
right?
a lot of men.
Yeah.
But I have friends who got on it, and it's really great. And I mean, unfortunately, right now that is the only show we have running in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Since NCIS has been canceled, we are literally down to one show, and that is just not good for us actors. So it's like I have a bunch of writer friends who are really hustling. Everyone's trying to bring more shows to Hawaii, and if we can figure it out with our government and tax incentives and things like that, and just give people the motivation to want to come here, because it employs so many people. Literally, there's so many cast and crew that don't have a job right now because they just they're all off of NCIS and other shows. So ideally hoping that we can bring a show to Hawaii. I mean, there's a lot of talks, and people are really so many different views. I mean, so many different points. People are coming in and trying to bring something to Hawaii. So I can only hope that something will come here. And I mean, and that goes for like the students we're working with ICANN. A lot of them, some of them are newer, so they're trying to get guest star and co-stars and things like that. And there's nothing to get if there's only one show on the island, and they're booking one co-star an episode. So hopefully bringing in another show, and then I just want to be on that show.
Would you would like to do TV over movies?
I would love to, because the beauty of TV with that is it gets to keep me here longer. I'm just trying to find my way back home.
Yeah.
I just really
awesome.
It'll
happen.
Yeah, I love LA, and I love being out there, and I have great connections and friends that I've created out there, and it's where I need to be right now. But ideally, if I can help build up the industry here to a point where I can come back home and just live here and be here. Like I was just telling them, I was like, I would love to be able to finish work and then go down to the beach. Like, what a concept. That's like so normal here, like everyone does it. And that's like, so I really hope third on that list. I have a few things on the horizon that could bring me here that I'm hoping that.
We'll be hoping just as hard as you.
We're working. We're getting there.
Yeah, and you would be based on Oahu, because
probably most
work,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you could just speak to Maui.
If Oahu is our main hub, and even our main hub is struggling right now, so I know for sure anything that's going to come here just has to, and they just have the facilities here. They have the facilities, they have the crew here. I know Maui is like trying to get on the map with that, and like I'm a big component of trying to help them. I'm going to be like fighting and bringing more and more. And then like Big Island especially too. Big Island's really starting to open up and try to bring, I mean, they have just such great landscape there on the Big Island to really shoot things easily. You can hit beach and snow and lava and rainforest and desert all in one location. Yeah,
all the microclimates.
Exactly, in one place. So that's like genius for filming.
Yeah.
So okay. I'm hoping that the other islands can build up too. But yeah, regardless, anything that's coming pretty much stays on Oahu. For
Okay,
now.
cool.
For now.
Well, hopefully.
Which I'm okay with that. I barely came to Oahu growing up. It's so
Yeah.
funny how every island like does their own thing, you know?
Totally, yeah.
Like I came because I visited my grandma. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
she lives here.
Same. I'm
lived
Vegan,
here.
and I would visit my grandma here.
Yeah, and so I would just come here and visit family, but that was about it. I never really and you come with your family, so you don't like explore, and you're visiting family. So it wasn't till like I'm an adult now that I've come to visit, and I feel like it's literally been the last 2 years maybe that I really started to come to Oahu, and I'm like, oh wait, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I like
I
it. I like
get the
living here.
vibe. I get the vibe. It's fun.
I like
I'm
it living
like,
here.
it has just enough, and I love going home to Maui, and it's like, it's very different, obviously, much slower, a lot more quiet, a lot more laid back. But at this age, I'm like, oh, I see why people come here, because it's like you got a little bit of everything here. Props to you, Oahu.
Yeah.
Still a Maui girl, but props to you.
But it's good to, get all the work done here and then
Yeah.
go away for vacation, get out of this and like relax,
Yeah.
disconnect a little bit, slow
Yeah.
down.
Always.
Yeah, so I totally get it.
So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's funny, that Rescue High service. They asked me to audition for that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so I
What'd
had
you
Jordan
do?
film the role of that Alex is playing.
Oh, no way.
Kainalu or something?
Kainalu Emerson.
I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I did it wrong too.
Oh my god.
She's like, oh, you're not supposed to
hard.
like read this
Oh,
because
you
I
read
had
the
him like
stage
read
directions.
it. I don't know.
You
what
read
I
the
was-
stage directions.
I don't know what I was
no.
doing. I was like, it was so funny. We were over here. We had the tripod set up, and we were like, I don't know how to do this.
No, he probably read
Yeah.
the stage directions.
So yeah, was that wrong or
Yeah.
like?
So
what-
if you're
could you
auditioning-
walk me
Yeah.
through that? Because I was like, I don't even care to like do this. So they keep asking me.
Well,
so
in Hawaii, obviously, like a lot of times when people are coming to cast here, they're looking for authentic talent. So, they want the locals. They don't really mind that a lot of these people don't have backing. They don't have like a long resume and things like that. So they just they like personalities and they'll see you kind of thing. So it's like, so what's going to happen is they'll reach out to you. They'll be like, hey, we want you to read for this part. They're going to send you what we call sides, which is just like your script. They'll give you a deadline when it's due. When you get these sides, and all we do is self-tapes now ever since COVID. We don't do in
That's
person.
what we
Before
do.
you would I'd come in person, you'd be sitting here and I'd perform in front of you. Now it's just tapes. So use your phone. They just like you to use your phone. They don't really care for the fancy camera setups because it just makes it more complicated. And you literally, there's going to be on that sheet, there's going to be some words that are directions, scene directions. And those are the things that you just are telling you. It's establishing what's happening in the scene, what's around you. They generally, especially for a show like that, they keep it pretty simple. It'll be like waves crashing on the shore, like the burning sand, like he picks up his surfboard and
yeah,
crosses.
it was like a radio one.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah. See,
yeah.
it's like you hear the sound of the radio. You pick it up. It's like through the radio you hear emergency, blah 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 blah, and it's like, so as the actor, okay, I pick up the radio and this is what I do. But that's just for your reference, So don't ever read any of that stuff out loud. Anything that's not a line and dialogue. Dialogues are the things. There's going to be a name, so it probably said Kainalu, and then there's words below that. That's the only things you ever say in your audition.
And what about the other people?
So the other people, you have your reader read.
Okay,
their
yeah.
other
So he
lines.
did the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
lines.
Just and you have to do that. Don't ever not have readers. Some people try to do it where it's like, well, I didn't have someone to help me, so I just read my lines. Like, casting, no. You gotta have someone read the other lines, and you want to keep your eye line really close. So if camera's here, you just have your reader right off of camera, so that you're looking, because you don't look down the barrel, don't look down the camera barrel. You just look down right off camera.
Oh yeah. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, you're looking in the camera.
Yeah.
We call it serial killer
Well,
eyes
no,
too.
they said not to do that.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So
and most
I
people
think
send a breakdown of how to do self tapes. They're not expected that everyone knows how to do them, but it's you do that, and it's the luxury now of self tapes is you can do as many takes as you want within the deadline to send out. Versus imagine before, I would get these sides. Again, we didn't have laws for turnaround times. It could be 9:00 today, and I get a sides of 10 pages. So they're 10 pages of dialogue. And by tomorrow at 9 a.m., I have to be in person in front of these super, super successful casting directors. And they're all just sitting there looking at you.
No
and you come
emotion,
in. Yeah,
nothing.
you come in. Yeah, and they would do it. That's really their thing. They didn't want to give you anything just because they don't want you to know if they like you or not. So you to come in they're nice, they're kind. They'd be like, hi. Okay, whenever you're ready. And I'll be like, okay, hi, I'm Lindsay Watson. Okay. And it's like, you can start with the reader. And they just have like a reader sitting there. And you're just like, okay.
That's
You're like so
interesting.
nervous. And then
Yeah,
you like
that's
look
so
over to the reader.
nerve-wracking.
It's always better when you have the first line and not the reader, because
Okay.
when the reader has the first line, it like they can start whenever they want. And you'd be lucky if you got a good reader, a reader who's like would give you something, who would actually act. So often they'd be like, what are you doing here? Yeah, I can't believe you did that. You're so mean for that. And you're like, okay. And you have to create it. You have to do it yourself. You have to pull it out. And it's like, you got all these eyes on you. You got them talking.
Oh.
It's like so crazy. And then literally you'd finish and then it would go like this. Okay, thank you.
And then you just go.
And just get the hell out. You go. They're like, and you go and you have no idea. And sometimes you never hear anything again. Just never hear a thing. It's like, it's not like they would call you to be like, sorry, we're not going to go with her. You just know, you don't hear
Even when you send your self tapes or whatever, do they get back to you like, we've received it?
Nope.
Or that's all?
Nope.
Wow.
There's so many like gray
Dang, that's
areas
crazy.
in this industry. Like the only way you know is like you get
If
a
you get
call.
it. Wow.
If something good is happening,
Yeah.
is what it is. So you'll get a call back. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we liked what you did, so you got to come again. And now there's gonna be, and again, callbacks, they run it differently. Sometimes there might be the director's gonna come, or maybe it's just with the casting director and a producer. Like, and callbacks are more fun because what they actually will do is that they sometimes will start to work with you. Whereas like an audition, you're given a script, you do it, and it's done. Now it's like, okay, do that script again, and you do it, and it's like, okay, cool. Now this time, let's make it more like high intensity. Like, let's make it where it's like she's really freaking out about this. Like, okay. And so as an actor, I have to quick switch and be like, cool. Like, I prepared it this way, but now I have to do it this. I'm like, cool. Let's actually, you know what? Maybe she's sad. Maybe she's really sad.
Oh, so you just have to like,
Or yes, like literally like ninja, like
Yeah.
just be ready to go. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And they'll expect you to be able to like cry in command, like, and like do these things very easily. And they'll do that to you in a callback. You'll just be like all over the place. And then there's levels. And again, sometimes it goes down to like a producer session or a director session. And like they'll do like these working sessions. And it's like, it's pretty gnarly. So, but then sometimes nowadays you audition,
and then
you
you
do
just
a
get it.
callback, you're booked.
Wow.
I know so many people with our new self-tape setups of that's how we do it. People get booked off of self-tapes. They'll never meet you in person until you're on set.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Like before, it was a pretty rigorous process where they would like bring you in and see you in person and meet you. And like now it's just like send in a tape.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah, they just said, oh, great job. We loved it. Like, no, you
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't even
Nice.
love it.
Yeah. And I will say the casting in Hawaii,
They're
so
super
Hawaii.
nice.
They're so nice. They're so nice. And like,
Yeah.
you know, like Katie is like such an awesome casting director.
Oh, I wonder
out
if it was
here.
Katie that.
It probably was
that
Katie.
sounds familiar.
She's so sweet. And
Yeah.
like, we love her. She actually is just like such a kind person.
I know.
So she is the type of person who does want to like have you succeed and want to help you. And like, she's been so kind to me. And
That's
so
awesome.
definitely that is a whole different story because like LA people, yeah, she would probably be the one that would say like received your audition. Like she's kind like that. Like
Yeah.
LA ones, no ways. They're
Cutthroat, yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that was really, really interesting to
Yeah,
learn
thank
about
you,
that stuff.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
really how it worked.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
crazy process. It's pretty rigorous. It's like
Yeah.
especially, and then it all depends on what you're auditioning for too. You know, co-star, guest star, day
Totally.
players,
Dead
it's like
body.
dead body. You know, extras,
Yeah.
principals. Like there's all these different layers. Like because like co-stars and stuff, they could book you off of the thing like one time, because a co-star is like 3 lines and under.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's like the people when you're watching NCIS who's like, that was my best friend that died. And they're like, did you see him come in? It's like, no, I was sleeping. Okay, we'll find her. It's like, thank you. It's like that, and it's like done. It's like, so it's like, those are co-stars. So they can kind of book those easier. But when you have to think about the leads of NCIS, you need to hire an actor that can handle hundreds of episodes, you know, that can withstand that type of thing. So that's where they get more picky about if you have a background in acting and your resume and things like that, because and like things like NCIS are so quick and fast. Like there's no you don't have time to prepare. You know, you got to just be ready and go. It's not like, can I get 5 minutes to prepare for this scene? They're like, no, 5 minutes is a lot of money. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Because it's everything's expensive. That's all it is. So it's like the more you can get done, the faster. There's so many penalties on set. That's why lunches, breaks, all these things. It's a delicate little ecosystem on set. That's fun but crazy.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Cool. Well, mahalo for sharing that. Next question comes from Patreon. This person, Michelle S, says, do you still plan to keep up with Hawaiian after filming The Wind and The Reckoning?
Oh, I love that question because yes, the short answer is yes. I think, like I said, because that role for me rekindled my kind of connection to culture and Hawaii. Doing that was such a feat that I was like, oh, like it made me realize that I'm capable of it. So it's definitely on my list now of like wanting to pursue it further. What I've been struggling with was figuring out what's the best route to do that. Because I know there's like the Duolingos and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, is this the best way? Are there people that I actually know, like my kumus and stuff that helped us on the movie? Do I just go about it that way? So it's more now figuring out what's best of how the heck do you even like, you know, I'm like, dang, I wish I went to immersion when I was a kid. Like, so I think it's a definite 100% yes. I want to keep learning,
figuring out that avenue.
Like what is the best way, and especially because right now I'm based in LA, like it's kind of harder to, if I did want to do sit down sessions learning, like I'm like, or do I just Duolingo it?
Yeah, I use Duolingo. My girlfriend uses Duolingo.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Duolingo. I learned Japanese and Spanish on it.
Oh wow.
And then she does Hawaiian on hers. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gotten pretty good. Where
I guess asking a speaker
it gives like a good base of things. You know, you're not gonna become fluent, but it's super good just to like practice and keep it fresh in your mind, especially if you're away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I learned Spanish in college, and then I left. I learned Malagasy in Madagascar, so I had those languages in my head. So I wanted to like still kind of keep up with Spanish. So that's why I'm doing Duolingo in Spanish.
Are you fluent Spanish?
In Spanish, I wouldn't say I'm fluent.
Oh.
I probably wouldn't say I'm fluent in anything except English and Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yeah, fluent is just tricky. I could hold my own. I can get by. Yeah, but I don't like saying fluent. Yeah.
Japanese?
No.
Japanese
is only through Duolingo and anime.
Oh, okay.
So that I just know words.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I do want to learn Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese would be cool. Have you been to Japan?
No, it's on my list. I want to go.
Yeah,
so
everybody's
bad.
going this year because of the yen.
I know.
I'm thinking of just buying yen, because it's so cheap.
Is it? Was
it? Yeah, it's the lowest it's been in like 30 something years or 40 something years.
Oh yeah, yes, right.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
So
yeah, I definitely want to go. It's been on our list, and I just like keep. I literally have like Japan folders in like TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I get all of the reels on Instagram.
I'm just saving it. I'm like, I got so much. And I just made friends who are like moving there. So that's when I felt like you need to like have a friend there that knows it.
Tour guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my friend moves there in August. So I'm like,
okay.
Go learn. Little one, go figure out
do
all
the
the
research.
spots.
Yeah.
And then I just visit you.
Okay.
And then
Awesome.
like, we'll go ham.
Awesome. You should. Okay. Last question comes from 06 Rebby. This person says, what is or has been your dream role to play? I guess we already know your favorite role. So what would be your dream role?
It's funny because I always just stick with this because this has always been my OG dream role, is that I want to be a Marvel character. Oh. I really want to be a Marvel character, which is awesome. So funny because it's like, I know me as an actor and how I've grown. I love very dramatic roles. Like I love A24 and I want to be in like A24 movies. But there's something about the idea of knowing you're a Marvel character.
You're a superhero.
A literal superhero. Oh man, that's like.
What would you be like? What would you think you'd be good as? Do you know certain heroes that you think you could like audition for?
I don't know. Let's make our own.
The Hawaiian.
That's how
Maui.
the Hawaiian princess.
The Tita. Yeah. She has all her like her bangles and whatever, and she can like shoot it out and like it grabs people.
Shang-Chi type
Yeah,
vibes.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we got so many ideas.
I know.
Brewing, man.
Yeah, we gotta collaborate.
Marvel? Reach out.
What
We
would
got your
a
new
Hawaiian
character.
superhero look like? We should ask
know.
people.
I know.
Instagram, TikTok,
What's she gonna
Facebook,
look
wherever you're
like?
watching this. What would a Hawaiian
Yep.
superhero look
Big
like?
hair, you know.
Lindsay could play the role.
Yeah, I got it.
Is it maybe like the tita bun and she just like whips it?
And it like comes out,
Yeah, or something she can like grab people.
and it like and it rolls back in.
Yeah, and she could like like
And
Dora
like I said,
the
you don't know what's in the bun, so
exactly like Dora the Explorer. She has like the backpack. Like you don't know what's inside the tita bun.
Oh yeah.
Do you have anything in there that can help us?
She just
And then maybe that's the power. It's just like everything's in the tita bun.
Yeah,
like,
because they don't use rubber
weapons.
band. You just
Yeah.
pull it through and you tie it. So
Yeah.
it's like, and it can like tie around people's necks and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Whoa.
We just created our
throws
own.
the bangles.
Yeah.
Dang. Wow, my brain. So you can't talk to me like this because like my brain, like, and then I'm in another world right now. Marvel, reach out.
Reach out. All right, sounds good.
Let's
We're gonna
talk
post it. We're gonna
numbers.
post this clip, and we're gonna tag Marvel,
Yeah.
Disney, Sony,
Reach out.
everything.
We're onto something here. Holy moly! All
right on.
I guess my dream role is gonna come true, huh?
Yep, exactly.
Oh man,
It's happening.
my brain's the wheels are spinning.
Yep.
It's dangerous.
Well, mahalo everybody for the Instagram questions, social media questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right, so pivoting from the superhero role, I like to ask all of my guests, who to me are like heroes in their own sense. All my guests are doing incredible things in this world. But I like to ask them the meaning of keeping it aloha. It's the name of the show, and I like to know in their lives, how do they keep it aloha? So in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
Oh, that's a good one. That's something I actually have to actively practice, and I think I come from this perspective because I'm not home anymore. I feel like it's so much easier to do it here because you're surrounded by it. It's a little more natural, being in LA, it's a total active practice I have to do. And that is by reminding myself to take care of myself, to aloha myself, because like I said, it's such a killer industry. It's so hard. And a lot of our physical self is what is judged, and our emotional self. It's like to have that taken apart all the time. I have to always take time to remind myself, like, I am created the way I'm created because it was meant to be that way, and that is what it is, and I shouldn't want to change that, and that's a huge part of reminding to aloha myself and be patient with myself. And then the other part, like I said, that I feel like is my active practice is staying true to who I am from home. Like, even though I have to travel around the world and go to different places, be on different sets, be surrounded by other people, what keeps me special, what keeps me happy is how I can bring that aloha spirit with me, being kind to everyone on set, learning people's names. Like, it's like simple things that, you hear the stereotypical star and the celebrities who forget the little people, but like, I don't ever want to be that. I have people who meet me now, and which is so funny because I don't think highly enough of myself, of like my accomplishments. People who are like, wow, like, I didn't think you were gonna be so nice, and I was just like, oh, it's also funny that you even gave me the credit that you thought I could even act like I was that cool. Like, Jesus.
First off, thank you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Second of all, wait, you think I'm that cool? Like, what? But it's like I take pride in like always being nice, because this industry, it's easy to get lost. I always say it's easy to get lost in the sauce in this career.
That's what Kelly said.
They make you feel like you're this like queen, like they put you on these pedestals, and it's just the way the industry was built, and it's just stayed that way. And it's cool, don't get me wrong, it's fun, and yeah, we put in work to sometimes deserve some of that, I guess. But
you do deserve it.
Thank you. But it's like it's easy to get lost in that, so to keep that sense of aloha that was instilled in all of us, that by birth and by our upbringing here, wherever I go, I really do think that's why I can walk away and have so many people speak so highly about me on a set, want to work with me again, want to bring me again. Like there's so many people that do not have that, and I've seen it and I've lived it, and I'm like, that's not what I want to be. Like I don't want to become that stereotypical celebrity that thinks they're better than everyone and doesn't want to help anybody else get to that level of success, because I hope for everyone to be successful. Like I come home and I hate when I see people having to struggle to make ends meet and things like that, or like struggle to not do what they want to do. There's so many people. I know everyone has a passion, like, and whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be a career, whether it be a hobby or something like that. I know how hard it is here in Hawaii, and like money, you know, that is it. Like it's so expensive. So it's like so many of us hide those parts away and never get to explore that. That's like one of my killer things that I hate. It makes me so sad to know it's like, oh, you got to just do what you got to do to get by and survive. And so it's like, if I can bring any sort of success to this land, so that people are free to explore what they really want to do, who they really want to be. I love that. So like it's a whole encompassing of just me staying true to me, because let's be real, part of my industry is that who I am and my name will then make waves. You know, it holds weight, and it has impact, and I know that, and I understand that, and that's why again, that's why I carry myself the way I do, and why I'm kind to everyone I meet, and I try to be the best version of myself wherever I go, because I know there's public eye on me. I know that people are always looking out, and that the things I do and say can cause change. That's just literally our industry. It's a big thing we talk about, which is why I am like, I want my success not just for myself but for everyone around me, because I know when I hit that point of success in our industry, which there is a point in our industry of success, that your word is like law. I could say anything. I could literally get to that point where I go, I want this shot in Hawaii. I want 100% local cast and crew. I want this writing room to have at least 50% Hawaiians in it. Like I can do that, and I will have the power at that point, you know? Like there are celebrities at that place right now that do that. So it's like, I know for me, my heart, where it's at and where it wants to go in this industry, and who I want to bring with me. So it's like, it's really just, I think, being true to yourself and true to what your intentions are in this world, because I just know for me that's what I'm fighting for. I think that's what keeps me going. It's like I'm not just I'm not fighting for just myself, because that's a again, I'm my own biggest critic. I could have probably given up on myself a long time ago. It's knowing that I'm fighting for my family and our people, and like the cause has just gotten bigger and bigger recently, and more eyes are being opened, and I'm happy to be on the forefront of that, to like push through, because I think once we push through, we have so much greatness that's gonna really change this industry, you know, and I hope it bleeds out into all the other industries, to just like, I just want us to be successful. I want us to enjoy the spoils of our own land, and it's like tough to think that doesn't happen because of money and success. So I don't know if that I got way off track, but that's just
yeah, I love
those
it.
are the
And
things.
I can hear the passion in your voice and how much it matters to you.
Yeah.
That being said, do you feel like there's a pressure for you to represent Hawaii in a certain way?
Oh yeah.
Especially being a Kamehameha grad,
Yeah.
and, you know, all that.
There's a lot of forms of pressure, but I actually am glad to take it on.
It's a privilege.
Yeah, to me, I see it as a
Kuleana.
privilege. Yeah, kuleana. It's in the cocoa.
Yes, in the cocoa.
It is. I know. It's gonna be always. It's the in the cocoa, and if can, if no can, no can. But
Chance
anyway, there's a pressure. There's always pressure. I do talk about that idea of, I knew this was part of the territory coming into this industry of, again, the public eye, but kind of starting to live it a little, it's so funny. My biggest gripe back home. Oh man, I used to come home and not care what I look like wherever I go, wear whatever. And it's like, which is still fine. I totally can, but it's funny because I go out and people want to take pictures with me, and I'm like, oh, I can't have pictures out there of me looking like that. Wow, I normally go to the beach or something. So it's little stuff like that. But I mean, on the overall scale of, there's a pressure to represent. There's a pressure to be that voice for everyone. There's still not a lot of us on that level of Hawaiians, so it's like us who are still like there. It's like there's maybe 5 of us, and it's like all the weight's on us, whereas like I picture other cultures, they have like a nice team of people who can kind of do it together. So right now we carry the weight of a lot of that, which again, I know the people, and we're all more than happy to carry it because we see the future of like what this can produce by us carrying it. And I know for me, I have the bandwidth to have the pressure, to be careful of how I speak, to be careful of how I live my life, to be mindful of making sure I'm actively trying to pursue my career in a way that will help Hawaii and stuff. And I don't have to. I really don't have to. It's not like, I don't want anyone to ever think like, oh, you're just doing that because like, it's like, no, I do this just because I want to. There's a lot of Hawaii
it's part
actors.
of who you are.
Yeah. There's going to be other Hawaii actors who don't want to take the weight and don't want to do it. And that's totally fine. I genuinely, like, I do not care. And I will never put that on anyone who's like, you're a Hawaiian, you should do that. Like, if you don't want to, why force a calling if it's not there? Because it's never going to be honest. It's never going to be true. And we have to just respect like our brothers and sisters in that they have their own journey. But I just know that I can control what I can control, and what I can control is my choices, my actions. And so, yeah, I mean, in LA, I know that's the OG hub of our industry. So I'm the voice out there. I am the token, partial token Hawaiian out there. You got me and Ali'i out there, and a handful of us. Like, but it's nice that we have a nice Pacifica and like group growing. Like, there's a lot of Polynesians, but when it comes down to Hawaiians, we're still just like beep. Tiny. Yeah, we're the tiny ones there. Yeah. But we're doing it. We love it. We love to represent and share whatever knowledge we can and help in whatever way we can. And again, that comes with understanding the weight of our role. And it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. I can't stress that enough. It's fun. And nothing's more exciting than walking around your place you grew up with and people coming to ask to take pictures with you and
great affirmation.
Calling you Hana or saying I came to your movie and it made me cry. And it's like, those are all the things that I wanted. I never wanted the crazy fame and notoriety type of thing. I just wanted to do good work that people like connect to and respond to, and then they feel like they can be seen. And like, that is what, again, just gonna keep like chipping away at that. That's like what the thing is. It's just like, we're hoping that we can soon get one of us Hawaiian actors just to that level of success,
like
superstardom that we have the control, because it's possible. And like so many of us are on the cusp of getting there, because then like that's just understanding the business and understanding how it works. You got a big name, you got power, you make whatever you want happen. And that's literally it.
You could bring a lot of change, and you can impact a lot of things back home.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, like, I love Jason Momoa, The Rock, Nicole, but they're not like born and raised here. So it's like a different kind of connection.
We talk about that. It's a different connection. They themselves are trying to find their own connection back to the land. So it's like that's their own journey too. And it's like, and they all have done so much, and they're all trying in their own ways to do what they can. But I think there's a different connection of someone who's not only born and raised, but like, who's known the struggle, who's been through it. I'm still always seeing it and experiencing it. So it's like, I think going through those types of challenges is what's going to make it so easy when I get to that place to just like understand what I'm fighting for and trying to achieve. Like, so like with all that being said, like book me in the next Marvel movie so that like
Yes.
when I'm there, I promise the
That's
trickle
literally
down,
what we've been talking
so
about for
that's
2 hours.
What this whole thing, joke's on you. This whole thing was to get to that point. Okay?
That's the reason we invited her.
That's why Marvel. No, but I mean, in all genuine like sense, that is like the goal. Is like I know that our little short list of Hawaiians that are trying to get there, they all have the right intentions of when the moment comes that we have the power. Because it's just power in this industry. It's like a tricky game.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You get to learn
Power
how
and
to
money.
play with them.
Power and money, and that's it. I was like, so guess what? I'm gonna take that power.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry, going back to the superhero stuff.
Please.
I can't
Okay.
not think about it now.
What
You
now?
could be one of the Miss Marvels because don't they have like a bunch of different ones?
Yes.
Right?
We can take that.
And then you could be like the Hawaiian one.
Yeah.
Because there's
So
like the Latina girl, right?
To the Marvel.
To the Marvel. There's like Miss Marvel, and then there's like the
what's Captain? No.
There's Captain Marvel, but they're all like different parts. What is the black lady? I don't know what her name is.
I know.
She's like the pilot's daughter, but they're all like Marvels.
Yeah,
all
they're
Marvels.
all versions of Marvels.
So I'm just trying to be
So we need
diverse,
a
inclusive.
Hawaiian
There's like the white
Marvel.
girl, the black girl,
Yeah.
the Latina girl. We need a Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
We
We
don't,
haven't done it yet.
or Asian, which you could kind of fit both.
I'm both. I am
So.
quite literally the AAPI.
Yeah.
I am literally, when I go to the API events, like it's always like, oh, AAs and the PIs, and I stand in the middle, and I'm like, I am both.
I am four
I
of
am
those letters.
all. Yeah, I am the one. I'm like, let me lead you.
That's
like,
funny.
Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Hawaiian.
I got them all.
Yeah, exactly. Like little, like the
Yeah.
rings.
Yeah.
the stones.
Yeah, like the Thanos, yeah.
The Thanos
I
stones.
got it all.
See, everything goes back to Marvel, man.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
It's gotta happen.
I think we put it out into the
Yeah.
universe. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do
All right.
that.
Well, coming to the back end of the podcast, and I want to know, what is something you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Oh.
Besides that, you want to be a Marvel character.
Yeah, I know. I say, well, all the secret's out. I think it goes back to the idea of this whole idea of like stardom and things like that. Like I want them to know that I'm still just trying to figure this out too. Like I don't have this figured out. Yeah, I've been in a few movies and it looks really successful, but I'm still chipping away and trying to figure it out. Like I feel like it's things like that. There's shows that come to Hawaii, and it's been hard in my career that I've been overlooked for some of them, and it's like, and I think people just assume like, oh, like you book this, so you're just like, successful, and that's just it. But it's like, no, like I'm still working. I'm still here trying to grind and make it, and like like I just said, it takes time, and I'm a very like. I'm a positive person. I only try to see the good in everything, and I'm a very much everything happens for a reason. Roles I didn't get was like they weren't meant for me and things like that. Because I've had a lot of ouchies. I've had a lot of sore spots that I've gotten very close to roles that I very much wanted. Roles that I felt like it only made sense that I would get it, especially when it comes to some of these Hawaii projects. And I didn't get them, and that's okay. And that's just part of it. But like. I kind of go back to this idea of when I was younger and like starting to get into this industry. Everyone always told you like, you gotta like move to LA and learn and train, and like then you gotta book the things and build your resume, and then that's when it happens. But it's like it's shocking to me that it's like I did all that. I did it. I put myself out there. I learned on my own. I literally pounded the pavement, and I did it, and I booked the things, and I learned all the things, and I met all the people, and I'm still in the place of still trying to search. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. So like, yeah, I guess it's like that idea of like, I'm still just human, and I'm still just trying to figure this out, because it's God. It's hard. It's a hard one.
Yeah, we see the successes, just like social media, right? You see the 2 movies that big movies that you did, but we don't see all like the no's, the denials, the movies that you didn't get.
So many.
Yeah.
Literally so many. Way more no's than yeses. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like it's rough, and I think like, yeah, I mean, like, again, going back to that whole the pressure idea. It's like, you know, anytime roles come to Hawaii, people are just assuming like, oh, Lindsay's gonna get it. Lindsay's gonna get it, you know. But it's like, it doesn't always go that way, and it's like, and it's a hard pill for me to swallow.
It's
as well.
like, oh, I did audition
Yeah.
for it, but I didn't
Yeah,
get it.
I didn't get
you
it.
know?
Honestly, that's how it
Yeah.
goes. And it's like, and again, there's no like regrets in anything. It's just the idea of like having, you're told this always as an actor. It's like when the right role comes, it'll come to you, you know. And so, and then every role is not right for you. But yeah, like I just am gonna keep chipping away, and again, I'm trying, my goal is to just get to that point of success so that I can have the power, because I know, because I do want to be on the other side of the camera for a lot of things. I love acting, I love doing that part, but and I understand, again, the business of using that to my advantage. Of if I go and I become a successful actress, you book, you do all these things, I can have the power to then jump over to directing and producing and creating my own projects very quickly. And when I'm the one in power creating these, I'm casting who I want to, and accurately. I'm going to cast accurately. I want to write accurately. I want to make sure the right people are in the room. It's very easy to not care about that stuff because of money, because of, you know, the little ins and outs of the politics of business. But I know for me, I have a secure enough head on my shoulders when it comes to this industry that I when I get to that point, we're gonna do it the right way. And like I have so many people in my corner that are the same way. And I think we've been watching for too long that it's not been done the right way, and it's like we're so fed up with it. It's just there's things that don't make sense in this industry, and they'll never make sense. But if I can sit and complain about it and cry, or I could just say, well, then let me do something about it. So that's like what we're doing right now.
Awesome. Taking action.
Yeah. Action. Yes, thank you. I was like, what? Dead body, what happened?
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what was it again? He's like, oh, right.
It was like it was a delayed reaction.
He's
Yeah.
like,
It was me reacting to something, and then the bullet hit me, and
oh, see, I just needed your backstory.
then exactly.
The moment before.
Exactly. I was like,
you're getting even better. Wow.
quick learner. Yeah.
Dang. Wow. I tell you a few little tips. You're taking my job.
I could have been the lead role in a High Surf Rescue.
You could have.
Could have. Yeah.
Dang. Kainalu Emerson.
I could have been Kainalu
Let me
Emerson.
tell Alex. I'll tell Alex.
Tell him,
I'll
yeah.
say,
He
dang.
got that role
I'm gonna
because
say
of me.
you're lucky.
You're lucky you got that,
He
because
was
I didn't know how to
coming for you.
audition.
Yeah. Man, if I didn't read those stage directions, that would have been mine.
Yeah. And if I had better acting.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No. But that's
we'll look
not
over
important.
that part. Yeah. So what does the next couple years look like for you? I know you want to do like the short films, you want to do your stuff, but what like
life-wise, I mean, I will be very honest. My career is my life. I'm very much that person, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say that. Like I am very good about finding a nice, healthy balance of both. But I sit in that lucky spot of my career does actually bring me joy and fill my cup.
You love what you do?
Yeah, I love what I do, so I'm okay with that. So I mean, the next few years are just are working, man. I just want to keep filming things myself, shooting my own things, and you know, getting my own things created. I want to keep booking more roles and getting myself in roles that I really enjoy. I've always been very careful to not put myself in roles that I won't be happy with. There is a desperation that comes with our career of like just wanting to work and wanting to book that sometimes, and I've very much gotten close many times of like just wanting to take any work, but I do want to try to be mindful about doing things I want to, and things I'll be proud of when they come out, because that's always the scary part. And I mean, and I'm so passionate about my career as an actress that I do, like, I am on the mentality of wanting to get to the place of winning Oscars. Like that's where I want to go. And then there's a lot of people who don't actually care for that kind of stuff, but that's where I want to go. And in the next 5 years, I'm going to be in an A24 movie, obviously. So I'm going to be on A24. It's going to win an Oscar. I'm going to have to invite you. We're going to have to do a podcast again, you know?
We'll be here. We'll be around.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and ideally, 5 years. I would hope that.
I'm excited to see where you're going to be in 5 years.
Yeah. I would hope that by the end of the 5 years, I could be back home based and then be able to
go out and film and come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's ideally the goal. But yeah, no. 5 years, man. Y'all better watch out. I'm coming.
Yeah. Might be at the actual real Met Gala.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. We're actually planning a similar event for the podcast.
Oh, no way.
A podcast party where all the past guests
are
invited.
Fun. Please do that.
So
That's like
I'm
mixer.
actually meeting with somebody after this to finalize the invite. So
wow.
I'm just hoping the date works for everybody.
Is it
it's
this year?
This year, yeah.
What's the date?
Well, we're looking in August, but that's kind of soon.
Yeah, but August what?
Well, I don't want to say it on. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
And plus, I don't want to say it on this just in case you change the date.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll let you know right after this.
Yeah. Okay. I will be back.
That's gonna be super fun though, because it's gonna be like really all the people that was on the podcast invited, almost like a Met Gala of Hawaii.
Yeah, I would say it's just like a party, but it's also like a mixer, you know?
Exactly. Huge networking event.
That is at the end of the day, it is gonna be collaboration. That is the only way, because I've come to realize that we as locals, Hawaiians, Polynesians, we just think differently than most of the world. We behave differently. Our morals are actually infused in our work, which is not how most people do it. So if we can just accept that and take advantage of that, then if we just all work with the same people who have the same drive and the same morals, we'll just be like,
yeah, and instead of the crabs in the bucket,
it's just
climbing up the ladder together.
We're building the biggest table we've ever seen. Why not? There's enough success to go around. I just truly believe that. I really do believe that.
That's why I'm excited. I've been wanting to do this podcast party for a while.
Yeah.
So we're finally making it happen, and it's just gonna be so cool to see all these great people coming together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But again, because that's a collaboration again.
Totally. Yeah. I wonder how many great things will come out of that. Yeah. But anyways, before we end the podcast and we can talk more about Sunside, what is your life hack? Did you have time to think of it?
Let me think. Life hack. This is like a broad life hack, or is this or is it whatever I want it to be?
Whatever you want it to be. It could be, it's in your cocoa. It could be drink water every morning to stay hydrated. It could be use lemon on this to get stains out, whatever.
Oh.
I don't know if you have
a
cool life hack. My life hack when I had long hair, I would say grow out your hair to save money for haircuts.
Wow, genius.
Yeah, so.
Oh, now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Life hack.
Yeah, no pressure. There's millions of people are going to watch this.
Yeah, no pressure. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, change people's lives.
Be like, instead of, are you Hana? You're going to be like, are you the girl who doesn't know a life hack?
Yeah, are you the girl who gave that awful life hack?
Yeah. So,
Can I get 5 seconds? Okay,
yes.
Thinking for 5 seconds.
I'll keep us.
Keep them
I'll
busy.
keep them busy for 5 seconds.
Keep them busy.
I hope you're having a great day right now. And if you are watching to this point, because I know this is already 2 hours in, let us know in the comments if you're still watching. Say, Kamaka, I'm still watching you and Lindsay on this episode of the Keep It Low podcast. And if you do that, I will send you. It's not live. It's pre-recorded. I'm just talking to them.
Okay.
We send it out. So if you're watching this and you DM us, what's like a cool something cool? Hana. You DM me the word Hana on Keep It Low podcast. Not my own personal. Don't DM me on my own personal. DM me on Keep It Low pod the word Hana, and I'll give you a big discount for our merch. Not the regular 10% off. Keep It Low. I'll give you a legit 25 or more discount to the merch. I was gonna say I'll give you free merch, but I don't want like 100 people.
Yeah, I was saying,
So
you can get
I can give it a
blown
discount.
up
Yeah.
right now.
So DM me Hana on Keep It Low after watching this episode, and I'll give you a significant discount to our website, so you can get some merch. All right. Was that enough time for you to?
Guys, so here's the thing. When I thought life hack, I was like, oh, I was thinking like career, but like just life hack in general.
Oh, it could be a life hack for your career.
True that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna say this because this is what and this is one that I will say for like this was myself. This was my younger self life hack of like, don't be afraid to go out into the world to chase after something, do something, because home will always be there and home will always want you back. That's for me, and that's for anyone who is in the realm of of that thinking, because I do like to be able to have a broad net of all the different types of Hawaiians, because some Hawaiians want to stay here and some do have callings that take them away, but like it's the idea that then it's something, maybe I don't even know if it's a hack, it's just something I had to tell myself that like home will always be there, and home is with me, so it's like I'll never feel like I left my home, and left a part of me, because like it's always going to be there. And I think that's what keeps me just going, because I've had a lot of people who have come to me who want to pursue this, who are just like, oh, but I'm afraid to leave home. But I tell them, like, don't be afraid to go out and chase something, because you can always come home when you're ready. So that's not much of a hack, but it's
great. It's so
a thing
good.
that I
love
think
it.
some people do need to hear, of just like, because I think a lot of our parents will tell us that, just like there's something so safe and secure about growing up here, and if you want to stay here the whole time, it's so awesome and so lucky. But if you do have the aching, which I had the aching, it's okay. Like you can go, because you can always come back home, and home will always be here. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, because that's what I had to tell me. I'm gonna cry right now, because literally that's what I had to tell myself when I left. Because like I don't like being away from my family. I don't like being away from home. But like for my career, I was willing to do that, because again, how I settle that in my heart is that for like I'm doing my career and I'm doing all this not only for my passion but for all of them, like family
you
and home.
carry your family with you, your friends, your island, everything.
So
I believe that too. I've lived abroad for many years too, and it's hard, missing home and the people and the food and all of that, but knowing that you have a bigger purpose and that you are doing this to bring it back to Hawaii one day, roam and come home. That's my motto.
Roam and come home. There's a life hack. Roam and come home.
Exactly. That's to summarize it. Roam and come home.
Roam and come home.
Because it'll always be back, and that's something I told myself as well. Hawaii's always gonna be here. It's always gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Hilo, where I'm from, nothing really changes. There might be a few more businesses, a few more tourists, but Hawaii, your home, it's more or less going to be the same. People are going to be the same. Maybe they have babies now. Maybe they're married. Maybe they have different jobs. Whatever it is. But for the most part, Hawaii will always be the same.
And you're never, like, I had to struggle with that myself. You're never going to be seen as less than because you left. Like, I did struggle with that for a while, like, feeling like that people weren't going to see me as Hawaiian because I left. But like, again, like I think if my intentions and my heart is always there of like I only left so I can bring back things for home, then it's like how can you fault that,
That's what our monarchs did.
That's exactly.
They left, they traveled, they brought back new technology and new
like the only way to push us forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just trying to push us forward. I just like there's so much good now, but I see so much room of where we can just be so much greater. And like I said, I think my life goal is just to make it where Hawaiians and locals can actually just enjoy home for once.
Yeah, we don't have to leave to find these successes.
Yeah, it can be here.
We need, we need better infrastructure.
Yeah.
So
there's so many things.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. Well, mahalo for sharing that. That ended up being a good life hack.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now before we end the podcast, I have my last fast fave 5 questions. These are just
Ooh.
rapid fire answers, okay?
Okay.
I know you're a singer, so favorite karaoke song.
Oh my God, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Do you do all the
Yeah,
other parts?
yeah,
like,
you gotta do all the voices. Mamma mia. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Or do you have some backup
Yeah.
singers? That's a good one. I saw this good reel of somebody doing that with the mirror. There's like a mirror. And you know the mirrors that come out like this?
Yes,
And
I
then
think I
it
saw
was just
that
like-
too. All
Oh,
the
it's so
faces.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
I was like, wait, this takes kind of like.
Yeah, a
good-
lot of
good-
coordination.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. Okay, favorite childhood snack.
Oh God. Probably lihimoy seed.
Okay, the
Yeah.
white or the red
The both.
at the same time.
The both. The both. I'm the salty girl.
Okay.
I'm always salty. Salty over sweet anytime.
All right, favorite travel destination.
Like that I've been to.
No, or anyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with Thailand so far.
Thailand,
Yeah,
cool.
it was crazy. You guys should go to Thailand.
Yeah, I want to. My
It's so fun.
my girlfriend, she lived there for a little bit for modeling, and she keeps telling me that she wants to go back, do another like contract there.
It's so
So,
awesome. Good
yeah.
food, good people,
Yeah.
good vibes, good buys. Like you just like shop everywhere, literally.
Yeah, so we'll probably head there soon. So I
Yeah.
can't wait. And the food, I
Yeah.
heard it's really
Oh
good.
God, spicy
Yeah.
though. Careful.
I don't like spicy,
It's so
I'm a sweet
spicy.
guy.
Oh, it's so spicy.
but I'll find the good. The
you
not
tell them
spicy
no
thing.
spice, it's still spice.
They're like mild is
Yeah,
like
no.
super hot.
They just have like bins of peppers just sitting around.
Okay,
'cause
scary.
That's, yeah.
Okay. All right, favorite because you already shared your favorite movie, favorite TV show.
Oh, you ask an actor your favorite TV show. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go with. Oh, it's kind of gnarly. Sorry, but this just to show who I am as an actor. It's *Handmaid's Tale*.
Oh, okay. No, I heard.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's a very.
My sister-in-law watches it.
It's a tough watch, but
Mhm.
it's so beautifully done. I mean, it's a masterpiece in my
Awesome.
mind.
Well, I watched The Boys, and that thing is
Oh, that thing's gnarly.
That's
That's
gnarly.
gruesome.
so yeah. I don't.
Yes, good for you, Karen. Like that is crazy.
Yeah. See, I like The Boys, Walking Dead,
Mhm.
and just people getting their heads chopped
Yeah,
off.
yeah, you just love.
Yeah. I think it's like because I don't do that, so it's like it's a
That's how you-
fantasy for me.
right, you
That's
get
how I
it
get it
out.
out. So I don't have to go.
Right, when you're driving on the freeway. and,
Exactly. I don't
yeah,
want to
you
like hit
just-
somebody. I'm just
yeah.
like, let me watch something
You're
that
like,
kills
"The
somebody.
Walking Dead."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ah.
You know, like the Hulk, he's like always angry because he's
Oh.
never angry because he's always angry.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Everybody thinks I'm so happy and cheerful. It's just
But
I'm just
no.
annoyed at the world all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're both kind of
Yeah.
like that. Don't tell them.
Okay, we'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Favorite person you'd like to work with? Anybody in the world?
Oh, I know a few. I'm gonna actually just stick with this one right now. Is Mark Ruffalo.
Ooh, whoa, the Hulk.
He's
How
no, that's why.
perfect.
No, that's why it kind of made me smile because I was about to tell you when you were saying it. I was like Mark Ruffalo. He's like my celebrity crush forever,
Okay.
and which everyone thinks is weird because he's older. But
That's normal.
There's Mark Ruffalo, and like there's the ease of his acting. I would love to. Work
That's
with
funny
him
because
one
he
day.
watches this weekly, so maybe he'll see
Perfect.
this.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Let's work together.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. Mahalo
Okay.
for coming in and
Of
talking stories.
course.
Awesome getting to know you. Is there
too.
anything you'd like to share with our guests before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
Fine. Oh, actually, yeah. Just no. I had thoughts, and then I just stopped my thoughts. I should stop stopping my thoughts.
Follow along to hear
Yeah, just
more
follow
thoughts.
along. Keep an
Yeah.
eye out. We're making moves, and I want to be able to include as many people as possible. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you have any inklings. Again, oh actually, yeah, I should plug. I Can, a nonprofit here in Hawaii that's helping uplift the next generation of. I mean, in front of the camera, behind the camera, industry people, crew, stunts, anything. If you have any sort of inkling that you want to get into it, it's a fun industry. It's really exciting. It can pay your bills. There's unions, whatever. We're trying to grow and get more people, especially here in Hawaii. So there's a website, ICAN International, INTL.com. go on the website, follow the Instagram, and follow along, because there's going to be classes and workshops. And to me, that's what maybe has been lacking in Hawaii is access to these things and understanding and education about it. So I think if more people just start taking the leap, that if they have the interest, come out to these programs, reach out to us, so that we can really start growing. The more of us in this industry, the more they're going to take us serious. So I definitely think do that. My Instagram, Lindsay with 3 Y's, LINDSAYYY Watson. You guys, I know, crazy. It's a common name. What?
I know that when I Googled you, I was like, who is this white Lindsay Watson who's a doctor?
Like 1,000 of them. There's like 1,000 white doctors that are Lindsay Watson. So I had to get a little creative back then. Follow me on Instagram. That's how you can keep up with my career and what's going on. And, as we start shooting shorts, we're going to have to start casting people here and in California and around. So, I mean, the more people we can get involved, the better. So follow us. And
then The Reckoning.
Oh, yeah. And then The Wind and the Reckoning. We just released it. So if you guys want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime and Apple TV. And like some other ones that I don't really know. Vudu. If you have Vudu, it's on Vudu. It's going to be on cable as well. And so please watch it, support it. When we support films like this, it shows the world. It's like you said, it's a big idea. I mean, a big accomplishment just to get this distributed. So showing them that these movies do well and people watch and there's an audience for it.
I'm going to go stream it right now.
Yeah, do it. Buy it, stream it,
rent leave it on.
Yeah, just keep it. Like when you leave to go to work, just keep it on. Because it shows them that there's an audience for it, which means they will give us more money to make more films. So it's like the more we do that, it's just going to become this cycle of being able to bring work into Hawaii, keep locals employed, keep people home. So it really kind of is that. And like if you can go on to RottenTomatoes.com and give us good reviews, that'd be so kind. We would mahalo you so much. Because, again, that Rotten Tomatoes is the website that a lot of industry folks use to just determine the success of a movie. There's audience score and then
95%.
Yeah.
Good.
So thank you. So keep going. Let's just keep going. And then hopefully we can actually get more of because then there's the critic side, which are actual verified critics who
we don't care about them.
Yeah, no one really cares. You're called a critic. Well, yeah, why do I care? So do that, please. Watch the movie, stream it. Just we just try to get the numbers up to show them that we're here and our stories matter and that this is just the start. There's a Instagram for Wind and the Reckoning as well. You can find all of this on my Instagram as well. And yeah, follow along. We're doing things. Yep. We're moving, grooving. He's gonna be a dead body in my movie.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And stay tuned for the Marvel movie with Lindsay.
Yeah. Marvel. Let's talk.
You know what to do. All right. Well, mahalo, Lindsay, for joining us on the Keep It Low podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka. Remember to always keep it aloha.